All right. Welcome. It is Wednesday, and our pirate island is doing its thing. Many are issue here upon Nicodranus, and our crew had just found their way into the graveyard to investigate, trying to do kind of a pre-investigation before dinner, and found themselves bloodied, muddied, and otherwise after fighting some creatures that seem to steal lights in others. After being rather beat up, they began to hear more bone shifting and things going wrong. At this, Melanie decided that it might be best to go, as she was hungry and wanted food, and was leaving while telling the others that it needs to happen. But within this scene of a bit of confusion, we are going to jump right in, as there still is movement, scraping of bone here within. Remember, those of you who are watching, you can go ahead and use those channel points for aid of our heroes to make sure they don't perish at the hands of death. It is all good. See if you can do that. And with that, we will get going. So, within the darkened yard of graves here in the Cadranas, as light seems to be not the best choice, what would y'all like to do?
Oliver is currently holding this part of his face where a torch whacked him next to the eye.
Well, Melanie's walking back towards like the city lights, and she's like, "Let's go, guys. I don't know about you, but I think this town still has a few guards."
Honestly, yeah. Let's get them. We did. We opened the door for him. Cleared a path.
We lubricated the job. It should be easier.
Honestly, that's a fantastic idea.
If you recall, they're all mostly volunteers at this point.
They're volunteering to do a job. Technically, we did too, but.
Well, it's time to volunteer them to do something.
Should we not at least inform Master Tyrion?
We can do it on the way. Yes.
Yeah.
The guild house is on the way after all.
Yeah, and Melon's got that hungry look in her eye. I don't feel like pushing even more.
Do you think Jaren would help?
Well, I think we can discuss it over dinner and see how he takes it. Maybe he knew about it all along. I guess we'll have to examine his face.
And we're just going to leave the undead here to rampage as they will?
I'm sorry.
If there are guards, they definitely heard gunfire and explosions and all the shit we just did. So maybe there's guards around.
As I'm continuing to walk away. Gozer, I'm hungry, I'm tired, but I do have one more strike in me. And I can drag you, or you can come, but you don't look so well yourself. And I don't want to see you perish and become undead. So maybe we just inform others that are in tip-top shape. Because right now, I feel like my left pinky toe, can come off at any second.
Yeah, fighting heals. That was a bold choice.
Tell me about it.
And I just stumbling along.
Oliver's following Melon.
Okay.
Is the bone sound getting louder?
As you're leaving out, I mean, it seems like it's getting louder, it's getting closer to the top, but as you're pushing yourself away, it's, I mean, getting more distant.
All right, we find the closest guard, tell them what's happening, discourage lights, of course, and hope some of our friends have natural abilities to see. If not, we wake up and we deal with it fresh, filled, and ready for a new day.
Could always ask Sai and Rai if they know anything of it.
It's true.
All right, well, I guess so. We look out for guards on the way. We head to the guild station and we go eat, maybe after, and then go find Sai and Rai. Okay. Those are. Do you have that thing? My shoes are dirty and my dress dirty. Can you undirty me?
Yeah, and as we walk, just start undirty, as you say.
Noticing that Oliver, shit, rat.
Some
Rebuttons
say-
the top 2 buttons and tucks your shirt in.
Some say the battle-hardened and haggard look is in these days.
I hope he's not planning on using the nice tablecloths, though.
I
hope
wipe.
not.
I wipe the blade of my halberd like on some grass, so it's not like super gunky and nasty.
Trying to clean up the best you can. Nice.
Oliver pushes his hair back, but like parts are just like not staying, so he just gives up.
Melanie licks her hand, swipes it on Oliver's hair. There you
Have
go.
fun. There's probably soot in your hand now, or like gunpowder flakes. I don't know.
That's why I lick the hand first and then swipe over, and then I just like
Yeah.
do one of these, wipe my hands of it, and there you go. So I'll while walking towards the guild hall house, I'll keep an eye out for any type of guard or patrol that's walking about.
I mean, it is possible the guild would send people immediately. It's also possible they'll hand us a bunch of healing potions and send us right back out again.
Yeah, I mean that also possible, but maybe if we do that, then sure, we can take care of that if they're willing to heal us all tip-top shape. I would be willing to look into it further, but right now, my toe still hurts. I'm clean, but I still hurt. So, let's head there, see what they say.
Okay, so we are headed to the guild.
Yeah, headed to the guild. If I happen to see a guard, I'd be like, there's a problem at the graveyard. Don't bring lights, but bring a few people.
Okay. Coming to the guild area of the Hunters Guild, there's a few attendants that see all of you. You said immediately ring a bell. And go, I've just summoned the Master Tyrion. He'll be here shortly.
I hope shortly is really short. Did you know about the hole in the graveyard?
There's a hole in the graveyard.
We heard about it this morning. You haven't heard?
Right. We're supposed to go, oh, is that right? We heard about it. It's...
Why is there no communication? I'm like talking to myself and shit.
Yeah.
Melon, you realize you're part of that lack of communication, yes?
Well, we thought that some random guy in the streets told us. We thought that random guys in the streets was telling everyone. We thought it was just the day-to-day news. We heard it was.
Melon, even I know the saying, what happens when you assume.
Well, you're right. All I could think about is just enjoying one day where I didn't want to kill something.
Is that
Those
ever
were your
really the case?
favorite days.
Some days you really have to convince me with money. So some days I want days off. Everyone deserves a day off.
All right. And so, about 10 minutes go by. You're waiting, and you're offered towels and some basins of water. Care of anything you need to. For Tyrion, clad in what seems to be a leather armor, has a heavy cloak over himself of a red. Goes, oh my! It was summoned. I didn't think you were hunting tonight.
Neither did we. We were supposed to be dining tonight. There's a hole in your graveyard, an upward hole, like someone's digging out of there. And there are nasties, undead nasties coming up from there
I
that
see.
eat light.
Well, not aware of the type of creatures. We had just made a perimeter once we had seen the hole the best we could.
We just wanted you to know because they were not nice. And there is a trick though. If you're able to snuff out the fire, once they get in the fire, they are paralyzed for a little bit. That might help you.
Interesting.
I do believe there is also something much larger crawling up out of the hole currently, but we were not in any shape to try and confront it.
It stares about. I see. Huh. Well, I'll deploy. It looks like you all would need rest before you could help again. Please let me know. We could definitely have monies. Here's he kind of quickly goes in a pouch and takes out 250 gold. Goes for initiative.
Yeah, well, be there in the morning, right after the breakfast.
Certainly. It kind of pauses. I was communicated with and asked to give this to Captain Greymoon.
Yeah, ha. Still rubbing his eye. What is it?
And he hands out. You see a what looks like a small glass jar in which you see a few whiskers.
Well, that's right on the nose.
Yeah, I'll open the jar.
All right. And one of the whiskers gets in a very pale white glow.
Say, all right, well, thank you very much. You've been great help. I'm gonna head out now.
Yeah,
Lovely talking to you. We'll talk again later about who dropped this off, but we must go by ourselves. All right?
I take like 30 steps back and kind of like turn it back to the group. And I pull that one little whisker out.
Absolutely. And you hear in your head the voice of Cassandra. Greetings, Captain. It is good that you have been able to get yourself in well at the city, as instructed. Please report any findings in this moment. This whisker will enable contact for the next hour.
I'll just look at the entire group and just kind of like shuffle like 15 feet back over and just like starts spilling everything into the whisker, just like
Oh.
give full report.
Oh,
Just y'all make some noise, just white noise, just give me some cover, and just like start giving the full report, just there in the street. He's tired.
I just pull out my spell book and because I don't know how long he's gonna be talking for, and I just start ritual casting Lehman's tiny hut. Because I only cast it as a ritual. I don't keep it prepared, so I'm just like, oh shit.
Just in the street. Just,
This might be a while.
She's like, this was supposed to be later tonight, and all you see is like she digs in like a little pouch on her, like that's on her legs, like a garter pouch, and she picks it up, and all you see is like a brown rolled up something, and she gets out a match and she starts smoking, and she's like, I can't believe this. And she's like smoking like a cigarello type thing.
Oh my god.
All right.
There aren't any observers within earshot, are there?
No, you find a pretty good place.
Cool.
Oliver, like, keep it kind of low-key, like the basic stuff at first, like recap. Yeah, we're here. We're helping. We set up like the Melanin Moon, all that stuff. Cause like, yeah, let's tell him about that. And then like once the tiny hut's gonna like up, he'll just like full spill, like League of Miracles, Baron Jaren, Mithril Ankh, all that. Just full everything.
Finish coffee. All right. So, yeah, you give the full report and bit of time, everything. I see.
There's so much going on.
There's certainly much going on.
There he is.
Oh my god, I say that and she can hear me. She can hear all of us.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Just hears me chanting.
You say that be like, oh, certainly. I should have told you if you're touching anybody, they can talk too, but I can't hear all of you once one of you is touching this guy. I'm sorry, it's Jajal is not the best at orientation. And,
Hey, oh wait, wrong person.
he's really good at transportation though, I tell you.
So I've heard.
Very well. I will discuss this with the correct people. And maybe this hour or maybe another means. Be on the lookout.
Oh, Cassandra, is it light outside right now? I've always wondered.
Yeah. No. It is night. We are in the same time zone.
Okay, I don't know. I've never been two places at once. And I've never been able to communicate from someone so far. This is so cool.
Magic's weird.
Sorry, they didn't give me the sending stones to report into guilds.
This is weird.
Yeah, and therefore the whisker burns to ash. The communication ended.
How
So
long
how-
did that communication take?
It's about a good 30 minutes.
Okay, so I finished. So the dome's up. It was up.
To be fair, you guys, we're only like 30 minutes late to dinner. So, fashionably late. We look good. I mean, I look good. You guys look okay. But at least we can still make it.
How many of those whiskers are left in the jar?
2.
2?
All right. All right. Just in his bag, or in his pocket. He probably isn't carrying a. No. He had torches. He has his backpack on.
All right. So moving through the streets, you find you see Farangerian at first looking a little irritated, then he catches sight of all of you and he smiles. Ah, fashionably late as always, darling and friends.
Well, I had to get extra nice and special this time. Look at my dress and I do a little twirl.
Oh, perfect.
Isn't it all torn?
Oh yeah.
Or all just covered in blood and
No,
mud.
no.
Just
I
everything.
definitely did my prestidigitation trick looking through Marshmallow's eyes to clean myself up. I still look haggard, but I'm not bloody.
All right. He goes, and he claps, and some music starts from inside. It's like, welcome, and I'm so happy to hear our envoy from Darkto and what exactly it is that come for and how my humble and limited resources can help out. And hopefully have an amazing future partnership.
Yes, we are looking forward to it as well. Honestly, it's been the talk of all day.
Well, you flatter me. But come, and a good meal comes out, and
Are we still outside, like in the lit space hall?
he actually leads you through his hallway. You see this massiveness, and ultimately puts you out to a balcony that faces like an inner courtyard. There's all types of flowers and vines that come down, specifically grape flowers that all hang down. Somewhat interestingly, given that you'd think they would have gotten destroyed and that this plant life seems protected and there's no roof over it, but it is there, as he says. Well, high adventure today.
Well, I don't think we did too much. Besides, I think a lot of us volunteered around the city today. Oh, and we ran into some undead within the city walls, actually.
Oh, they worked in the city walls?
Which I'm sorry.
Did you say they worked in the city walls? Did you ask?
Oh no, they were within the regular city. They were on the outskirts near the graveyard, actually, which was a little odd.
Nice.
Nice.
Not sure what you try and. They're in the outskirts. That is.
Oh no! They were in the city. They like by the graveyard, not too far.
Okay, so you met someone near a graveyard?
Undead just started like climbing,
Attacking us.
going, screaming at us.
I'm sorry, they missed the undead piece. I thought you meant
yes,
like
yes.
a person.
I'm sorry. Yes, the undead. It was crazy.
Terrifying.
This
Maya, is the guild alerted?
yeah, we actually did on the way here. That's why it kind of took a little bit longer than expected.
Oh, well, thank you for keeping us safe. I keep telling them we need more help. I mean, don't get me wrong. People like you are doing amazing jobs. It's just the problem is so big. We need outside contractors and more of them.
Now, looking at him, does it seem like this is already something that he's like, okay, like, I've been trying to push this and maybe like he's already planned for this type deal, or does it seem more of a surprise? Or because I guess like he also doesn't seem like it's a surprise because he knows it's a problem. So I guess I'm trying to like see if he's masking his actual like surprise or not,
Sure, give me an insight check.
All right. Oh, my physical dice over there. Let's just do this. Oh, 19. Not bad.
Hmm. With a 19, I'll say that he talks as probably nothing overly surprises him. It's hard because he's slippery, so he's still very hard to read. Even with
Yeah.
19, but you get the sense that there's someone who generally probably knows most things that are happening and pays well to do so, but also that this is his general goal does seem to bring this outside help, and all this helps him. So as much as he would go, oh no, gonna like he's all these things are helping him get what he wants.
Right. Exactly.
So you definitely read that into him, and he's that's not even to hide that from you. But as far as did he know about the graveyard specifically and exactly what's going to be there and that stuff, that's hard to pick up here.
For sure. Yes, well, I think we as the people of Darktoe are doing as much as we can to, assist our partners and abroad, business and political, of course.
That reminds me. I mean, this might be a good use for mercenaries from Darktoe. Actually, I mean, it seems like the locals have some difficulty keeping up.
Yes, I guess that could be something brought to the council. If Darktoe is able to get more here to help, that might not be bad. I think, as much as your nation is amazing, I think the Hunters Guild is served well, and professionals are good too. I think considering those who have a proven track record and things like this could be good as well. It's probably a yes and I think more mercenaries, maybe raising prices for the Hunters Guild, and then seeking other rebuilding factions that have experience with things like this.
Would you happen to have anyone in mind? Like, who would you hire to solve this problem? Assuming the coffers are open.
We have tried to put out negotiations to the various people that the nation of Teldori leaned upon. They recovered what should have been a century within a decade. Such talented people they have. So really, what I've did put forth was just investigation go into how they're able to do such a feat and potentially begin contacting those individuals.
I have to imagine this isn't the only city that's in trouble, though. I mean, many other cities were attacked at the same time, so there may be way more competition for these, miraculous rebuilders than you assumed.
Oh, and certainly. In fact, I think that we would need to invite them as a whole slew of settlements in order to truly maybe even afford them. I think Nicojanus being the least harmed has been more reticent than the others, but as they see, there's more than just physical damage. Apparently they run restless dead, or as you reported, and the issues in the fields. All other things that might, while we weathered the initial affront, we might still need help for the aftermath, you could say. But now tell me, is there more? I'm curious how we can increase our relations between this place and Darktoe, and certainly the crew of you have proven quite useful, covering even more destruction. And I am thankful for that. I'd love to hear more of if you do have solutions, maybe a training program, the type of people we need to be looking for to help with these things.
Well, I'm actually looking for an apprentice. We could always do small training sessions here, and actually might have a gentleman in mind that might be able to teach actually the guard here, at least train them a little bit. I'd have to seek him out, but he should be in this town somewhere.
Well, we could certainly increase a hunter's corps, maybe even be a training ground. I think I could sponsor that even. Should we find those? And it's so interesting. We do have such a higher population of orphans right now. That would be a great thing to empower them with, don't you think? More funding for school and giving them this worthwhile endeavor to do.
Well, I think someone who has learned to protect themselves at a very young age, I will never stop the young from learning skills that could keep them alive.
Certainly.
But I swear, I mean, business must be going really well there. It's almost like you have a dragon's coffers.
Business at where? The orphanage?
No, your businesses for
My
you to be able to
business.
sponsor such a endeavor.
Well, it's not about things going well as, honestly, things mattering more than money. Like the health of this town, its citizens, its orphans, the various enterprises that have kept it safe, that keep it safe, those interested parties. I mean, the orphanage itself, I believe, was helped along by a mysterious donor. We certainly wouldn't want those efforts to be hindered in any way. So I think having this supported and such things would do well.
I look at the group and I'm like, see, what did I tell you about this guy? He's truly a man of the community.
Mr. Jared, what, may I ask, initially brought you here?
Oh, my story really, it was I had heard of altruistic businesses being done here, and I thought I might try my trade, or at least compete and learn from the very best. And of course, when I came shortly after, the horrendousness occurred.
Oh, so you weathered the storms.
Indeed, and thankfully, most of my stuff was locked and packed, and I hadn't much moved in yet, or invested in anything as of yet. So it was able to help people keep their personal investments.
Pardon me, Brian. I forget if any of us have asked before. Where did you come here from?
Well, I originally was a merchant in Zadash before the troubles there. Was luckily enough to get out and spent some time north, just reestablishing myself. And as the Empire grew a bit too paranoid for my taste, I decided to see if I could seek other economies. If it wasn't going to work out here, I was honestly going to travel either to Marquette or Teldore. Even thought of making a pilgrimage to Isira.
Yeah, that's too far a ship ride. Never made it myself. I mostly made my rounds around the coast. It's lovely out here, and you chose a good spot. Great people here in the city.
When you say the Empire was a little too paranoid for your taste, what are they paranoid of? What was it that made life or business difficult?
To begin, rounding up people who they thought were suspicious. The Zadash issue kind of rocked their world a bit, and after a few years, they wondered if there was infiltrators and these types of things. And they started with those of particularly Fey ancestry and practitioners of Hemocraft. And quite honestly, once the government does that, it's not going to take them long to try to go after survivors. If they don't find whatever it is they think they need to be looking for.
So it's not particularly that you fell into one of those categories, but you didn't want to become a victim yourself.
Yes. I figured eventually they'd look at those who made it out and maybe think that we were traitors or something. And I thought it best to alleviate myself of that area. Here, where the Deadlands don't really trouble, no one really cares that you may have survived a tragedy.
Well, we're glad that you survived. It kind of almost makes sense since you're from there, why you seem to be compelled to help others in tragedy.
Yes, that is what I saw when I saw this place. It doesn't need to become another like that. I wonder if more expert help was sought early with the issues in that area of the Empire. If maybe we wouldn't have the corpse fields. If we had been more vigilant, quick to call in expertise, but our Emperor, King Dwindle, he wouldn't seek help from any other country or nation, and thus only relied on the Cerberus Assembly, who, frankly, was lacking in their expertise.
Now you seek to kind of change that future here by actually calling on help, or at least help that knows what they're doing.
Indeed.
Now-
this region isn't known for its holy people, so...
Now, I'm interested to know, are you at all worried about how, when you came here, the attack on the city in the first place? I mean, of course, there's a lot of issues that stemmed out after that, but the attack itself seemed, of course, the town was undeserving of such an attack.
Oh, and the coordination among the coast, it's quite awful.
Do you know, or at least, being from someone who saw destruction in their wake in Zadash, do you know, or who has the power to even do so? I mean, I think everyone on the coast is interested to figure out who the culprits of that activity is, or who they are.
From my understanding, it was magic of the old ways. That is what the investigation has turned up. Some type of people who are able to access some of the most powerful of those. Some reports indicate involvement of a cult. The Waiters of the Many Eyes.
We've been hearing some interesting names of groups, I tell you.
Yes. I believe they have some type of relationship with Kutoa worship, from my understanding. And potentially the Keith now. But it's interesting times. So I've tried to hear everything I can. Supposedly there is there's rumors further east of a witch of the seas who is spreading a message of Victoria now. But yes. So, tell me, do you know anything of the economic advancements of Darktoe? I'd imagine now is a great time to be making quite a bit of money off the misery that is spread.
I mean, making money off the misery, maybe not. I mean, if the new Plank King's idea is to get more into like trade and commerce and shipping goods, is a great time to have an available fleet for damn sure. But I'm not sure harvesting the misery is exactly his direction.
Certainly. And to be more direct,
Yes, well, obviously no one likes profiting off of misery, but unless you are the misery causer yourself, we just want to help enjoy the opportunity to allow others to trust us on the seas once more. If we are able to show that we can ferry people and move products across seas with no problems, then we will gain the respect that we deserve. But not through intimidation or fear.
certainly. Well, like I said, you're very welcome. You can stay, of course, the place you found, or you may stay here. And I would love it if we could be of assistance. We do have one of the only functioning docks, so perhaps just being a place to start, and I can open some of our storerooms. Can work out a small tariff away for all of you to do business, but still help the poor people here afford the odd peach.
I think we would appreciate the assets. I think while we are here, there's many opportunities, obviously, to make coin, and anything that we can do to make coin and help the people, we're all about.
Looks. I will say, if I hear many things, and so if a official partnership could be started, might not be overly hard for me to begin passing this information to those who are so interested in helping.
Oh, yes, I think, Oliver, should we tell him of our new business venture?
I mean, I don't see any harm in sharing. So, Melon, why don't you take that away?
Well, basically, what we're doing is it's kind of twofold, right? We are going to assist with the mercantile sales of across the network on the coast, but also inland. Mostly, we would carry metals, actually mithril, that we have stumbled upon a good source, and mithril is a very versatile metal, and so we are trying to move that around and help where we can, whether it's armor, buildings, weapons. We're going to be selling that up and down the coast as well as inland, and but we also, we will be training these folks to survive out in the wild, and so that we'll be able to also help others sell their goods if they want to.
Hmm. Very nice. I know people who are somewhat interested in Mithril. If that is something I could help you with, to give you a connection.
Oh yes, we would love such a connection.
Very well. If it pleases you, I could probably have them here. At least in 2 days. I don't know what their schedule is like.
Well, we'll be here, I'm sure.
Then I'll have. Should I have you sent for? Will you be staying here at the property?
Well, I think a stay at the property in 2 days would be perfect. We get to meet gentlemen, have another wonderful dinner, and then maybe we can all stay over and have drinks.
Well, certainly. I'll have the rooms prepared, and my contact. I'm contacted. It sounds like this would be a great start for a little bit of a network.
I'm loving it already. There's a lot of potential, I'm sure.
Yes. Now tell me, is there anything I can do for you?
Gentlemen?
Mr. Jern, do you have a library by chance? The city's was damaged, to my understanding.
I don't know. I have a study. Frankly, it's more for show than anything. It might be. I don't know if there's anything that would be of interest to you or not there. I honestly had the books brought in as, the aristocratic type that needs to see a certain show, but I have opted away from a library for reasons. Find the collection of books I guess you could say a frivolous aspect when there's so much suffering within the world. At least to me personally.
Some books are more useful than others. Spell books, perhaps.
Certainly. But I'm not a mystical arts practitioner myself.
Insight.
Yeah, I want to run that too.
Make an insight check.
20.
15.
Nice.
Man. Got something.
What's the total on the nat 20?
Just 20. I got +0.
Okay. Yeah. This is odd sense where he's choosing his words carefully, but examining their body language, everything, he definitely has more magic than he is putting on.
Is any of his clothes visibly magical?
Make an Arcana check.
21.
21. Say, looking at his clothes, though, put very carefully, it does seem to be a very fine made of them, a silk that they seem to use. And just looking at it, I think it looks tougher than you'd think it would. Other than that, there's what you can recognize as protection charms and such things, as those with me often do have a few personal protection items that they find useful.
No, I'm sure that there were people that you looked up back in your day. Is there anyone you looked up to or mentor that you would say helped you get to where you are now?
Oh, I mean, countless people. My father, a small group of a gentleman who trained me.
Was he a merchant as well?
Yes, an enchanter by trade.
Oh, wow. What was his name? Was he famous?
Don't know, famous in Zadash, Pumat Sol. All of them were quite helpful in the early days. To get myself and, of course, yeah, then to keep a few mentors in my life.
You said all of them?
Yes, he had made a few copies of himself that he liked to work with. Certainly saves on wages. It's taught me about how to be frugal. Why waste money on employees when you can make more of you?
But I've read about Pumat Sol.
Where were you
Having-
educated?
Marquette.
Not likely.
Okay.
He's not overly renowned.
I heard he was from Minnesota.
By the lakes of Minnetonka. Wash his body there.
But,
It definitely
yes,
seems
indeed.
like someone to aspire. Is he still alive?
I really have no clue.
What?
When it came to running, we all just left as quickly as we could, and the land. Every time we stopped to rest, we could see the land getting blacker and following us. So I don't remember much of who I saw or did not see in that time. It was lonely, and I was trying to get to me as far north as possible. At the time, anyway. I had hoped that maybe the cold or something, especially if I had to make it as north as a Sevelier would, that maybe its own corruption would stay whatever was creeping its way across the land.
Did your mentor run with you? This Pumat Sol?
No, I ended up mostly by myself, really.
So he stayed? Or you just parted ways?
No, I mean, I believe he fled the city, but he did not come my direction. Many were directed to the west. A woman by the name of Bingles Bink had started something. There were the ones who wanted to secede from the Empire, but the Empire was always a good thing. At least I thought so until they began getting all, they said, paranoid.
We've heard of that name. It's that name is a trader around our parts.
Oh, nice. No, she once had a shop here. But has since departed, I believe.
Interesting. As I say in my own mind. But well, yes, it seems like it's almost common of late. Shops disappearing, and we actually went down the streets this morning, and there was a row of shops that were terrorized.
Terrorized, you say?
Yeah, buildings were almost caved in, right? No Sunder? I think you were over there too, Dozer.
Yeah, they were in pretty rough shape, and it looked like it had been done fairly recently.
Oh, my goodness. I have yet to hear about this. Tell me. I believe to be quite frank, I had heard that you were inquiring about making this a home, this place, for you five.
For a time, maybe.
Oh,
Personally, I'm more attached to open water.
I see. It's unusual for those who don't wish to be here to inquire about seats on the council.
Well, on behalf of our interests, yeah, yes.
Yeah, if not all 5 or 6 of us, should I say, some of us, or maybe one of us or 2 of us, it's important to, and if not us, then someone from the island. But we think it's important for the island to at least be very close partners with Nicodranas.
Oh, partners and being on our council are 2 different things. But should you be interested in more of a residency, I could say, especially with the news you've just brought me, I could see that path being smoothed over, quickened, cut through a field or 2.
For residents, I mean, it would be sad for these people to lose their shops, but I hope that they would be compensated for the loss.
Oh, indeed. Well, that is that very thing, you see. As of now, I believe you, my beauty, is a member of the Hunters Guild. That is fine. Of course, there's so much red tape in that. The city could hire you to take a more proactive measure, investigative, being able to be on the scenes quicker to get compensated for such unforeseen things as could happen to these shops. And this, of course, would be a business of your own. We'd maybe have you be separate, be your own company. And since your heart seems to be in this market district, that could be your place of protection. Of course, you'd be responsible for damages you might incur that would come out of compensation, all contractual things to contract such a thing. But importantly, if then you were more permanent, of course, one can go on a voyage here or there as long as the company was running. I mean, that's a business, and businesses get votes.
Just
You would do that for us?
Well, for one, as you've said, we've got a graveyard problem. We've got many things. Commerce brings help, not, unfortunately, people. If our commerce goes down, that's no good. And, quite frankly, politics requires allies. People who've done you favors and whom you owe. And to have a new voice that maybe I could call upon. Again, nothing crazy, just to smooth some things that need smoothing occasionally. But we have a beautiful partnership. And of course, I think I will end up asking after our favor economy is paid. Then I will owe you something. Then you might owe me something. We could, it's the way politics works. We could have you put it into this.
Mr. Jern, I must beg you to excuse me. Could you direct me to the restroom?
Ah, yes. Certainly. James! And this very large ogre.
I remember the doorman, James. Gate man.
Please show him to the facilities.
Hmm.
And puts you're rather large yourself, puts a big hand and goes this way. And starts pushing you.
Oh, that's no need to be quite so rough, James.
I think that's all James knows. But do you believe it? He's an amazing casserole. Marvelous.
We'll have to come back and try sometimes. James?
And as he's leading me, I want to start like memorizing the layout and like marking door, like in my mentally where doors are, if there's any that are open, like looking in and seeing what details I can, so that way I can make myself a map later.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Uh, 19 on the die for 19.
Sick.
Then from where he's taking you out, you're starting to get a very good idea of the layout. I think maybe to about anywhere from 25 to 37%.
And is there any spot that looks like it would lead to a basement in particular? I guess it would be something that I would want to make particular note of. Or if I could
Partially
gauge.
go by a kitchen, and there you see doors that I would say with your perception would go, they would either have to be closets or stairwells.
Okay.
And you want to be able to kind of decide it just because of the space in between different rooms and how long the rooms would go. These things would have to go up or down or something, or be very tiny.
Cool.
James will wait outside of the WC there.
Yeah. And I think I make I make a show of it using prestidigitation for the sounds and eventual smell.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, James, I do not advise you go in there. Might want to give that some time to air out. Undead and all, that just kind of turns my stomach.
Noted. Come, and we'll lead you back. But anything while Dozer is gone?
James was not reminiscent of anybody from the warehouse break-in, was he?
No.
Cool.
That's a damn good question, though.
Yeah, we left those guys alive, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. We took their bribe and left. And now there's not actually a way back in there from under there.
We are the fickle sort.
So what would you like to do?
Well, it looks like based on Dozer's treatment, there's not a whole lot of opportunity to go snooping around. So,
Yeah.
In terms of my side, I think Melanie has thought of questions she wants to ask.
I don't really do a lot of parties or soirees, so not much help.
I'm just observing.
Okay. I mean, you might be able to, see what you can do. I mean, there's certainly trickery you could try on James or something like that, but it's sort of up to you how much you want it.
No, I think we had agreed that this time we were going to play nice, at least from our last time talking. about
Right,
it.
and-
But this time it was going to be a play nice, see if maybe there is a connection where, we know we're being used, but we use him some also. And then,
Yeah, I think the next meeting could be a good one to stay the night, be fully
Yeah,
prepared,
actually-
and put, maybe snoop around.
actually be able to snoop, yeah.
Well, certainly. Well, then, this was very wonderful. I will have. We can call for dinner in 2 days' time, and then, of course, think about it. And we can certainly have you somewhere in the Market District to be an official contractor here of the. Say either. I'm sure there could be problems abroad in the seas, but also upon the land.
Master
Make use
Jern,
of
if I
their
could
talents.
be so bold as to make a request for dinner, could hot cocoa be a part of dessert?
Hot cocoa. Of course. James. Let's see here. You do the I do cocoa. Good. And he comes out. And he brings it with all these little white things. He goes with marshmallows.
My thanks, Master Jern, James. I just nodded him.
I can't stop thinking now, like, does Dozer leave like a stream of like septic issues everywhere he goes, or have they properly prepared for that? Like, I just, it's racking my brain now. Thinking about this.
You realize I didn't actually poo in this man's house, right?
I know, but eventually you have to. So, like, is it just like, is there just like, what's wrong with this toilet? Like everywhere you go, like, how does that work?
We've been in the sewers. It looks like a stable, functioning system.
Except for the part that's blocked off.
You mean the wall that got put up in the where the cages are?
That too.
Oh, Christ.
All right. Yeah. If there's nothing else, he'll bid you adieu, unless you want to think of anything else.
I'll see him later. I'll go up there, give him a little kiss on the cheek, bid him adieu, and a good night.
Very
All of
good.
us still just awkwardly observing, just trying not to be as awkward.
All right. In that case, you can make it back to your own abode and whatever you'd like to do from here.
Was there like an expectation? Did it seem like there was an expectation for Melanie to stay, like from that interaction between them, or what?
Oh, no, not really. I think he just was letting whatever happen happen. I think for the most part. It didn't seem like he expected that. I think to him, the fact that she didn't stay the first time, the fact that all of you were coming, he wouldn't expect her to stay. He wouldn't have that in his head.
No looks of disappointment or anything.
No.
No expectations of like a big group play party or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
Depends
you
on
go
how-
a step further.
Depends on how weird Mel was the first time.
Yeah. And for him, he's like, well. Again, he'd kind of slotted this more into business
Yeah, he
in his
did.
brain.
Same here.
All right, Mel, I gotta know, are you serious about this guy, or is this just something you're playing with?
I don't know. Usually I'm into dwarves, but small men, I don't know. They interest me. I mean, most of you are small men to me, but not all of you are interesting.
That's fair.
I'm 6'1".
I mean, I said most. I didn't say all. Oh, come here. And I lick my hand again. I swipe his head.
God damn. There's more gunpowder in your head now.
All right, well, that was rather peculiar. Do you guys have strong opinions on this guy yet? Like, should we be allying with him? Like, I'm pretty sure he's corrupt as hell, but like, the
I
business
wanna
offer's not
shoot him.
bad.
I want to shoot him, but that's just because I was bored the entire time. I don't like business talk.
I'm conflicted.
He is an enigma. And I know that I've said it once before, but he is hiding a lot of his true self, and it is kind of scary.
Oh yeah.
He might not be a caster, but he is no stranger to magic.
No, not at all. But I mean, it's someone like that who seems almost unbothered with everything going on, that it's almost even more scary.
I never quite figured out if he had all of his wealth elsewhere when he left Zadash, or if he made all of his wealth after Zadash. It wasn't quite clear to me.
Well, I think he obviously picked up a few things from his father, but that story, it also doesn't seem weird. It seems weird to me to respect your father so much. And sure,
To
his
not-
father...
To not keep track of them?
Right, not at all. Not to look or try. I mean, sure, he's an enchanter and he can hold his own, but I don't know. I think I would, if even my father, we're not super close now, but if I heard that my father was missing, I would try to find him.
It's so sad because this plot was made way before that.
We need to really stop manifesting with our campaigns.
Is Matt just the new Simpsons? Is he telling the future?
Well, we've seen,
Nostradamus.
we've seen pirate vampire space motherfuckers. We've seen all kinds of things that have, just seemingly come out after.
I definitely draw out like the schematics of the house and like mark what I think could be either closets or like doorways leading down to like let everybody be on the same page as me as to my plot for Peaches, for the job that Peaches gave me of
Yeah.
finding those blueprints that are either in the basement or the attic. Because those are the two places they couldn't get to, or scry to. However, I don't remember the exact wording.
Yeah.
I can just imagine Peaches literally crawling around in his house, having dodged all his traps.
Also, while we're all like in our rooms or lobby or whatever, he didn't know that the shop was still around, and I found that peculiar.
How do
Yeah.
you mean?
Well, it seems like
Which
Peaches
shop?
is, the shop of Peaches, right? Didn't she take over for that Bink?
Is that what happened? I thought that was just Peaches' shop.
I thought she told us that she had taken over for her.
Yes.
That's I'm wrong.
Did
That
she,
was
did she give the name, or did she say she took over for someone?
I think she might have mentioned Bink.
And,
Yeah, I
did
thought
she,
she did.
and did she tell that to these characters or to the ones that remember?
She told us. She told
Yeah,
us.
we were there. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting your days confused a bit.
It's tough when he works in his sleep.
Yeah, so we haven't mentioned our relationship with Bernardo yet, right?
No.
We said, in the market district, we were there, bad things were happening, but we didn't actually tie that piece together.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
I don't think we mentioned Dogson to him either.
Mm-mm.
No.
So,
And we get the feeling that people would normally visit Bernado's like shop, right? It's not just like a secret thing. It's he's open for business.
He's open, so yeah.
Yeah, he had remember. Well, I don't know if you were there, but a guy had come in there to buy like 40 alchemic kits and shit. So he definitely has business.
though he might have heard of our association with Dogson just because we did steal the egg destruction contract from him. Steal. So he might have inquired into that.
Steal? We don't steal. We procure.
He also didn't really raise an eyebrow when we mentioned that we were coming into a significant access to mithril. Like,
No.
hey, I've got a guy that can fence that for you, but not like, where the hell are you getting enough mithril to start a business?
Yeah, he doesn't seem surprised about anything. It's kind of weird. Honestly, did you? He kind of scoffed a little bit, a slight smile when I said that he had a dragon's coffers. I don't think he's a dragon at all, but it is interesting how
Would
he
you be able to recognize one if they were polymorphed?
Fuck no, I'm not that skilled of a dragon hunter. Plus, they're not really my. I guess they are interesting, but I do find them majestic.
Not as regular a problem as monstrosities, I assume.
No, not usually. Honestly, the only way I got into aberrations was due to attack on my guild, but that's a story for another time.
Speaking of guilds, should we rest up and try to go back and check out the graveyard again tomorrow, or at least see how the guild's making progress on that, if there's any progress?
I think so. I think tomorrow, as soon as the light shines out, we should, because I believe that our friend said that whatever is down there or whatever is connected to has problems growing in the light.
I like the idea. Just rest up. Yeah, I got nothing else. Good night, y'all. Oliver just goes to bed.
Checking in with Tyrion in the morning seems wise, but once we get the recap of that, I think we should pay Sai and Raya a visit, see if they have heard anything.
I agree. We can stop there too.
Okay.
And
And I will check with the front desk to see whether or not we have any letters posted to the Grand Shanty under Melon and Moon Limited.
Absolutely. All right. In that case, let's do this. If everyone's good with it, we'll go ahead, take our break, and as you all kind of go to your long rest, and we could come back with the High Council of Darktoe
ooh,
after receiving their report. Does that sound good to everybody?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. So you know the report you
Warm and
gave, so I don't have to re-give it. So we can
Right,
jump
yeah.
right into there.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll take our break and come back then. Everybody back. A few minutes for everyone. Oh, good. Oh, this craziness. Oh,
Mhm.
good. Yeah. I was telling you about a D&D OGL, like a new one that came out. I totally missed the news, though. I just heard the rumors of it.
Wait, what?
Something about the new OGL. Or like
Another one?
well, yeah, about like this version of D&D or something like that. I don't know. I just saw
Oh.
like stuff on it.
I haven't seen anything on that.
Anyways,
Aiden, Steven, you guys here? Cereal?
No, burrito bowl. Just spontaneous
Ooh.
burrito bowl. Yeah.
I had a good old quesadilla.
Ooh, nice.
yeah. I have my sushi.
Nice, nice.
I got the frozen type from Aldi. So at the beginning of my games, I can take them out and just leave them beside me. About break time, they're defrosted.
Nice.
Now Steven's here.
Yeah, I can't hear you well.
Oh, it said Steven's here. He,
Well, it's
chatted.
okay.
He chatted.
Yeah. Fun fact I came across lately. Anybody want to guess what the number one producer of sushi in America is right now? Sells more sushi than anybody else.
7-Eleven.
Walmart.
Ooh, tempting. Walmart, 7-Eleven, anybody else? It's fucking Kroger.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Jesus.
I was honestly thinking that because I get the sushi from a Kroger near me sometimes for their $6 Wednesdays.
Yep. Yeah, I have a festival
What?
near me that does the same thing.
It's funny because Publix does Sushi Wednesdays also. I wonder why multiple supermarkets pick Wednesday as the sale day.
I'm pretty sure it's all Snow Fox or it's basically the same people.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
is
Publix makes
Kroger?
theirs.
Yeah, like there's the companies that make them, but like what I'm saying is like Kroger doesn't make their sushi. There's a
Right.
company that they contract out to make the sushi in their stores, right? So
Oh no, Publix, the actual seafood guys sit there and roll it.
oh wow.
maybe like it's made fresh at Kroger's, but I'm saying like that space is like a separate, like
yeah,
company.
like third party.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, you still buy it through the regular stuff,
Yeah.
but like, it's definitely something. Definitely had this idea: is what if we provide sushi service to supermarkets and we'll contract out to them and we'll manage the whole thing?
Yeah, that'd be
For them.
interesting.
Yeah, I think
Everybody
so.
able to find their old character sheets?
Yeah.
Zane
Sorry,
Lore,
the
Malval
doorman.
Savage.
Those actually in my bookmarks.
I've got far too many characters to have them individually bookmarked.
Yeah.
No, I just have my history. Usually, if I type the name, it just comes up.
There he is.
Yes, I agree with our private chat. Good Omens, the TV is good.
Yeah, yeah. I watched some. I think I watched like the first 2 episodes, but I got like so busy with shit. Like I couldn't get into
First
it.
season is killer. Second season, not as I personally didn't like as much as the first. I don't want to say this because I'm like, who am I? But like, just me personally preferred the first. It felt like the first half of a season. The other one's complete. At any rate, is everyone ready?
Yep.
Okay. Because there's still character names, so I was wondering. So,
Oh,
back to... You don't have to. It's one of those things. So. Yeah. In that case... A ways away, almost a world, across tempestuous seas that seem to have gotten worse as time has gone on since the strike by the Druid sect. We see the island of Darktow, now a home to many a ship. Those who were out during the storm over the last few weeks have made their way to Darktow. Some even becoming official parts, official ships joining the Trade Alliance from their home countries back to a more freelance way of thinking. And it certainly troubles the advisors within Darktow that possibly they are benefiting too much, and such a thing could put aspersions upon them. However, as we are doing, actually I won't just show now, but we see the temple is doing well, the schools, the orphans, and of course there are it's busier than it has ever been, and a little unrest over those, a little more used to pirating. There were reports have been getting in, not so much that people are upset about the trade aspect, but they didn't quite realize there was going to be so many non-pirates on their island, and that has been bothering them a little more than anything else. Things have got nicer, a slight gentrification that has people a little nervous. Some people have nearly been killed for talking about HOAs and the like of things and OSHA rules, but so far everything has been alright.
So many OSHA violations in this library.
However, the council has called together. Of course, the first person to have been informed of the report went right to the chief spy master himself, Jajal.
Responsibilities. Well, at that point, I would have brought all that information over with Mal. We would have grabbed. Well, no, because it went to Cassandra first, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Or to Cassandra. Cassandra, because of the order, she would definitely go to you first.
Gotcha.
With
Okay.
it, because that is it's. You've traveled and you're running it. She's basically helping you with your job, which she does resent quite a bit. But she does go, like, I started this, I'll finish these people. And there's a lot of sass. A lot of like, oh, look, your whiskers. I contacted them because of, while you're good at some aspects, there's other parts. As kind of more or less the chief of staff of the Plain King, she helps everyone with their job. And isn't overly happy about it, but serves nonetheless.
I understand your frustration, but you must understand.
No,
at the
you
same
don't
time,
at all.
You are a pillar
Oh,
of all of this. We could not exist without what you do in your contributions, and I'm forever grateful for this.
Yes, I'm such a pillar. I'm a glorified secretary. I understand. No.
Listen, even Mal would be lost without you.
This is no doubt. Anyway, please, don't let us be surprised by another terrorist attack. That would be great.
What? Wait, that assumes that there's.
Who is spy master? Who is the spy master? Who? Not Cassandra. Why do you think I do this now?
Getting the Cass sass, boy.
They will be punished.
Cast snaps back.
Yeah.
You're about to get crabbed and thrown off the boat, bro.
As you say, they will be punished. She looks you in the eye and puts forth of the pirate shake, and nods, like it has brought her around, and it's good. We do rely upon you for that.
I try to make sure it's just, but since this is like this, especially with as many innocents have been affected, there's no reason for this. If this was supposed to be a political target, I was caught off guard, but I won't let this happen again. There shouldn't be any more leniency for acts like this.
This seems to be some type of fanatics. They had obviously had almost a word order in mind.
Well, the problem with fanatics is their erratic behavior. It's not something that I can predict.
Until you understand them, which is your job.
Okay.
I'm not getting on you. I'm just saying that is what you need to do. Besides, who could understand erratics better than you?
I did.
Just a poop in God's skull.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I did that. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mal will walk past and just say, "Don't forget the smell."
I'm so frustrated that I still feel like if I had a chance to grab that last blow before that druid flew off, it could have been different. Right, because going back a little bit, that group, that one that master polymorphed themselves into a dragon and turned me into a turtle, that was also the same affiliate with this group, right?
Could be.
Okay, at least that's what Jajal's.
That's what we've been assuming, yeah.
Yeah, it's a reasonable assumption. I would say you don't have hard evidence for the GM to be like, oh yeah, but yeah, you have been assuming that.
Yeah, I just didn't realize when, where, and how much he was going to retaliate, I suppose. But regardless, we should bring this up with the Blank King.
Right. So, do you go to Mal, or do you call a meeting of the crew?
Oh, Mal first, for sure.
So, run through to the upper nest. Where do you imagine Mal is doing the upper nest? Or did they find him upper nest? Would they be somewhere else? You tell me.
He said he just walked by and said, "Don't forget about the smell."
That's true, yeah. I mean, you tell me, Mal, what's going on?
Doesn't mean he went right back to his office after he dropped off some more papers. Mal is weeding through piles and piles of correspondence via official channels, trying to figure out how to make sense of any or all of this without Cass explaining it in very small words. sign some treaties. Next thing you know, you got actual obligations to people, and they want things, and they expect things to be delivered on time. And the next thing you know, you're getting like embassies from halfway around the ocean contacting you, asking if you can do something for them, and like it just never ends. What's up, Joel? You don't need to lurk in the doorway.
Oh, for the sake of brevity, can I open my mouth and let the message be come out?
Yeah.
The voice of the ever-ruling DM explains what happened.
We're gonna take the whole half hour.
We call it
No,
the
please.
blah action.
Cast exposition.
Cast exposition, I like it.
That's nice.
All right, that's a hell of a starting point. Do we know anything more about these characters, or anything else more about this? What was the guy's name? Farron Jaren, or this group he's probably tied to? Do we have any other reports of any other activity?
Outside of their suspicions, the monster harvesting, the mithril splicing, it's weird.
I mean, it wouldn't be opportunism wouldn't surprise me at all, especially right after that. But if these guys have a record, if they've done this before, then it's more organized than it looks to these whiskers on the ground.
Do you think we should send them some kind of supplies? Do you think? I don't know.
I mean, I'd like some more background on this particular Farron Jaren guy, just to see, like, has he been seen before? Has his hand been seen before? Do we know, that he really is this benevolent benefactor type person he pretends to be? Like, some of the notes on the odd coincidences are standing out a little bit. This is just a little bit too convenient for me.
Has the name created any resonance throughout the network?
Well, so this is what I'll say. I think for the purposes of these scenes, I was going to interrupt just for a second. We can go ahead and we can use a mechanic called flashback. And what we can essentially do, because we had said before a bunch of crews got sent out, that it's possible that one of the other crews may have gotten some of this information in their adventure. And so if you'd want, there could be something where you, like, a crew could have gotten sent out to investigate something you want an answer to now. And then we could play with that and see if they can find some information and then come back to this meeting.
That sounds cool.
So they could be like, oh, I had a group doing that or whatever. You don't have to do that on this necessarily, but it is a mechanic you can kind of have at this point. And then that could be how we shift to other things here or there as you gather in for, like, this could be the meeting that keeps tying together all these things that have happened.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense
Gotcha.
considering there's a lot of stuff happening right now. So
But for that purpose, if you want, we can kind of get to where you have the crew together.
Yep.
So more have an opportunity to.
Yeah. I'd say we probably want to call a quick council, at least the inner circle of the crew together, and see what people think of this particular development.
So at that point, like, did we decide, like, do we just shoot up like a giant, like, rose in the air, or like a blooming flower to
Do you want
a bat symbol.
Yeah. Like,
He wants a bat symbol.
because I don't have like a mass like talk to everybody spell, so I think
yeah, but there's people that there's like
I
runners,
mean,
right?
if we could Pirates Caribbean, there could be a shisha you sing and it alerts everybody.
if I ask Cass for one more favor, she's going to stab me with her.
All right. This is a little bit traditional, but we have these things called pages. They're usually like young people who can run faster than I can and go places and find people. We could use those. It's not owls, it's not pigeons, but it does work.
Oh, I forgot about them.
You
We
mean
gotta
you
find-
haven't trained like multiple litters of cats to just go get us?
So that's problematic.
I don't know. Is it problematic? They don't eat much. They're pretty quick.
They can jump high places.
And they're quiet.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
All right, let's call everybody together and at least get the ideas out on the table.
All right, so then you'll meet in the grand meeting place if you want. Oh, actually, yeah. Do you want the meeting place or do you want your ship?
The roost is fine. I mean, my assumption is anybody within, quarter mile of the roost is at least passed through multiple levels of guards. Like, it should be relatively safe.
That's
That,
right.
we have that anti-scry barrier up by now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You'll
got
be
to be
having some
finished.
security, so. All right,
Yeah,
then you go
I'm not-
into.
Walking down there again right now.
What, to the ship?
Yes, that's a far walk.
Fine. Would you like to be carried, your worship?
Now that you mention it.
I will send a litter once and only once. You got to decide this is the time you're going to use it.
Oh, no. I want to ride you like when you're a bear. Like, I just want to see it once.
I feel like Cass definitely raised her eyes at that.
Xehanort definitely did too.
On your back.
Good offer.
Probably not today.
Fair enough. It's all good to see you, gentlemen.
How's your temple and that weird little elf we sent to you?
Temple is good. People are getting fed. A lot of outsiders are coming in for help. We need more housing, but besides that, we're doing well.
Housing. Okay. Yeah, that's a concern. Yeah. It's not like we don't have building materials, the ability to import them. Caldrum, have you seen an uptick in demand for nails lately by chance?
So I arrived on Brutus wearing the Jotun's Yodpurs because I'm not wearing my armor for once.
Wait, so you rode in on your dog?
Yeah.
This man doesn't have to walk. He knows what's up.
Do you want a bigger dog? Want me to find
Oh
you a
my
full
god, I
mastiff
have
or
a
something?
unicorn!
Why aren't you using your unicorn? Do I have to solve this one for you?
Very independent. Very sad.
Nails, no. I thought Xanlor was working on a way to have people be able to make his mansions.
That's actually very, very high level magic. I've been here the whole time.
How does
Yes,
he
that's
manage
why
to
I
hide
looked
like
at
that?
you when I said it.
Yeah.
We could start making there is still room on this island, and I would like to keep as much tropical area as we can.
Mhm.
We could start making things on the sea, but I'm sure that's not why we were called here to talk about the residency.
It's
If
a
you were
side
able to
problem.
build a temple, why can't you build a home, Thola?
I mean, I could make a temple that could double as a home, I guess.
Or teach
Yeah, but
your...
it also requires a lot of space.
There's got to be something in the library, something like a huge pile of books about building, large buildings full of apartments or something, right? I mean, it's an artificer's holding, so it's got to be something about structural whatchamacallits there.
tiny structures.
What, like mouse houses or what?
Isn't the concept tiny home?
Oh,
Yeah. I probably skimmed past that. I have a lot of free time.
mhm,
I have
sounds
heard
like
of these things called prefab homes. I'm not sure what they are, though.
Newer.
That sounds
newer
like
stuff.
something Tonk would have made up.
mhm.
They look like little pills with buttons with a C on them, and you just push the button, poof, smoke comes out, and it builds a home.
Oh my god.
Capsule Corporation, something like that.
I mean, if you know how to get these things, I'm definitely interested. I'll open the treasury for some number of at least experimental attempts.
Well, before we become master builders, I would like to know what has brought us all together today. It's been a while.
Some weirdness in Nicodranus. Tajal, you want to give the rundown?
Well, outside of me missing everybody, but yes, I explained again all the stuff with the mithril and the monsters and the hoarding supplies and the burning down of the place and all the other stuff that they reported back to us.
And those were new whiskers.
They're all new whiskers.
That is true, but
Correct me if I'm wrong. It was a researcher, one of your library scribes, Zane Lore, a
Dozer,
cutthroat.
yeah. Not at
Dozer.
all. No.
No, not that one. The Sunder.
Oh, he scares me.
Yeah. Oh, and then the
One of-
monster hunter, and then the time wizard as
Yes,
well.
your father's apprentice, Thola, or at least one of his acquaintances.
Yes. It is quite interesting. This businessman that seems to have his hands in everything. I'm surprised that our monster hunter wasn't able to get any read on what type of being they are, which scares me. They're obviously a little. They shouldn't push too much because they can possibly get slaughtered.
Well, I mean, the kids are definitely outclassed. That doesn't mean they shouldn't try something.
No,
What do you mean creature? He's a gnome, I thought.
No, but she stated when their random ramblings to Zaynlor when she didn't know that she could talk, and she kept on telling, or not Zaynlor, she kept on telling Grey Moon to add this part and add this part. And from what you were saying, she said that she wasn't able to tell what type of creature he was, and she's usually able to do that with her expertise. Seemed well, at least that he was hiding a lot of who he really was, and that's
Slippery
yes, that takes a lot of power to do such a thing.
and opportunistic.
Do we have anybody from Zadash that could confirm his story? Is there anybody on the island at the moment that might be able to verify or justify this connection to Pumat Soul or any number of other names he dropped? How do we know he's not just a fake?
Just name dropping.
It's possible. Hey, I come from the place where nobody is anymore and everybody's dead. Trust me.
The
Yeah.
one person I know who was in Zadash is dead, technically.
You say technically, this is another one of your weird friends or acquaintances
It's
that's
my
like
brother.
dead but not dead. Yeah, okay, that's the one.
The one you met.
Oh,
Yep,
yes.
that's the one.
Mm-hmm. I
I mean, Zadash wasn't a small city, but it wasn't a huge city, right? They might
We
know
saw
each
that
other.
shop.
big.
It was still magically protected,
Yeah.
though we never saw if the owner was still there or not.
Yeah, it's an awkward place to ask around.
Yeah.
Remind me, Zadash was in the dark.
In the dead zone.
The Deadlands. Yeah. Okay.
So if we can't find anybody to verify the story, then
Have we sent anybody back since we got back?
I don't think anyone's been back. I feel like we are waiting on word for a few more groups that we've sent out, but if we get a little more information, I'm sure that we might be able to solve this mystery from afar. At least I'm interested, especially considering that we think, we know that druids were behind this. I wonder how that island we were on, the one where we stopped and kicked out the druids from in the first place. Do you think that it is still an interest to them? Do you think?
you think they'd go back there? I mean, the heart of the island was taken. That became Kea eventually, and now it's off-world. So,
Oh,
at
yes,
the very
but-
least, Zane will explain it later. You've been here long enough. You're on the inside. Don't worry about it. But the
Yeah,
island might still be interesting to them or have some value,
I
assuming
think-
the heart of the island couldn't regrow or rebuild somehow.
yeah, it's possible.
See, this is like the only time I'd actually want a druid on staff, preferably on the rack or in some other torture implement where we could like, ask honest questions, get honest answers. It'd be so much easier this way.
You could ask Gaius. He's probably the closest thing to a druid that we have.
You're probably right.
Didn't we spare
Capture
one of
one?
the druids from the attack?
Yes, we do. Still
Yeah.
wasting away in the cell.
Oh, I thought we
Yeah.
let one go.
Oh, did we let her go? Oh yeah, we did let her go
Yeah.
to be
It's
It's
reincorporated
mine.
into the.
We let one
Town.
go. Like, still,
Is she still on the island?
Hmm.
I wouldn't stay if I was her. Fuck no.
Did we ever find out if Gaius's kids are okay?
Which ones?
His real kids,
The human ones.
the human ones.
We have not.
No, we have
found
not.
out.
Which city was that again? I forget.
It was an island.
Yeah, there we go.
I thought he said they were at
I
Nicodramas.
thought it was Port Damali.
Oh, Port Damali. It was Port
It was Port Damali.
Okay.
Who did we send to Port Damali?
I'd have to check the notes. I don't know.
I keep losing track of your kids. It's crazy.
I don't think we sent anybody to Port Damali from
no,
Wednesday.
I don't think yet.
Right, but so you can do that now. But you could have sent them. Remember?
Oh, if you want
That's
to
what I was trying to
flashback
say. Like basically, this is where you decide kind of the next information you want, and the group that's going to get that information.
I think that is that should be something that we are interested in, obviously, and anything that can leave us to the whereabouts of these druids.
Well, we have an idea of where the Vampire Island is. We have an idea of, well, we don't really have an idea of where the druids are hanging out at this point, right? But there's got to be some location or some headquarters somewhere they're gathered at. It takes a lot to orchestrate a strike on multiple cities up and down the coast at the same time.
Listen, I might not be the sharpest tool in the tool rack.
Look around, you might be.
So would I have been able to figure out where the bulk of the attacks happened and see if maybe there was like an outsource, like, if they, so here's my thought process is depending on where all of the attacks happened, the majority of them would probably come from a central location and kind of triangulate where they would have met before moving on to do the attacks.
So maybe, but that would probably be a flashback thing, right? So I'd say some of this information, that would be what you'd send a crew out to begin to determine.
Okay.
And the initial crews went out to a couple of major cities, right, just to get a sense of how things were going or what was happening on the ground after these attacks. We probably haven't had enough time to get back enough word from all of them to know, what the bigger picture is, right?
Might have. Just depends. So in my head, at least, I mean, and we can do this a different way, but my head, like, this is the meeting where probably you've all gotten these information reports.
So it's like up to us to create this portion of Trial of Events.
Correct. Like, what's the next report you all would talk about? Then we could potentially do that group. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I understand where you're coming from.
You could outlay them all out right now, but this kind of gives you the idea. So this gives you from every time a group finds something, you could have decided that in the past a different group went out to investigate this thing. Right? So it makes this an active investigation, even though it's happened simultaneously to each other. Does that make sense? Like, you were just wise enough to send them the right places.
Alright.
Okay.
Funky.
So, I guess, is that like an above table conversation? Like, where do we want to go next?
However you want to do it, I think is probably, you could do it in character or whatever. So I guess that's everybody. How do you want to do this?
They'll listen to be right back anyway.
Okay.
I mean, above board, I think the places we would have sent people to try to gather information would have been probably the major cities that got hit. So obviously Nicodranas, probably Port Zune, Phelan, Port Damali, maybe. Those are the maybe big, well, at least Port Damali as the big obvious ones. We also understood that there were some attacks across the water, right?
Yeah, in Marquette
In Marquette.
that happened because we had gotten in touch with via 10.
Mm-hmm.
So what season sounds appealing to you guys? Do you want to go out to Marquette? Do you want to stay here in Wildmount?
I mean, the other option is it's clearly an open secret at this point is that it's quite possible that one of the sea cults is involved. So, what's the name of the not full god but demigod? Ukatoa. Yep. So we could also have sent somebody to go explore that activity. Maybe some traditionally Ukatoa areas, like some of the southern islands, maybe.
So what areas would that be? New to the sea.
I mean, down by Boali, Rumblecusp.
Remember, Ward Anvil has a map if any of you want to look at it.
Yep, that's true. It does.
What was that fellow that helped us out? That made the fridge for us that we never bought, or that we never picked up.
Oh, let's not reopen that wound.
Isn't that way out in Rothold, or is that?
Hell yes. What have you
Yeah.
heard from him? I'm assuming you continued reaching out, seeing as he came to our celebration.
No, you did not get the fridge, unfortunately.
Damn it!
Oh, trust me, I asked about it a lot, so don't look at me.
I don't think they keep it on layaway for a year and a half.
Sorry, we had to move it out. You never picked it up, and then a lot of government thing. I ended up taking it, and some people needed it. Friends of the family,
I have the fridge. Or my sister does, anyways.
Sipping on a cold brewski.
I mean, if you probably could have got some information to go if you wanted, unless you want to send out a crew out there. Like again, sort of how you. I think the way you'd get information is through these things. So, unless you wanted a specific thing to make plans from Tikal. So, is there something you'd want to know, or?
I'm not really sure. In regards to the Island of the Druids, we could always. That one was one of the more dangerous places we visited, especially the trek there. We could always have sent the 11s that were taking the newly birthed ship.
Yeah, and they were going to head up the Shattered Teeth too, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they could check in on that island again, see if that is a renewed base for the druids.
That sounds solid. Thanks for taking the lead, Captain. Sorry. Not delegating at all.
A terrible delegator. Got it.
If we wanted, for the 3s, we could have sent them as an initial, hey, check for, Gaius's kids, and then whatever's happening there.
At Damali.
At Port Damali, yeah. Just because that was previously a safer city, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that they're.
I mean,
it's
you
all-
know, Port Damali got wrecked. Nicodranus just done the best besides you. You did get that
Yeah.
information.
We know Zune lost most of their ships in the initial pirate attack, and then the storms afterward. So maybe the 9's there. Unless this was just crews that we had sent out and not specifically our character crews.
I interpreted it as just the characters that we created set out there, but it's whatever.
And then I don't know if the main crew would want to go to Marquette, since Marquette was a large ally of and purportant of how we, stabilized the treaty. See what help we could do there.
Jal's favorite spices are from there, so that sounds good.
A lot of sun, but okay, yeah.
I think Fusaka's from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And back when I created him, circa 2021, he also speaks Marquesian, so that helps. Before I knew what it was.
As to this current group of whiskers, I don't know what actual capabilities they have to continue with everything that they've uncovered. A League of Miracles plot, who I actually hadn't heard of until recently. One of the Seven's Smiths came and introduced himself to me. Hiranos. I've been working with him more as of late, but he had mentioned a couple stories of things of their doing.
Would Zanlor have read like any sort of anything involving the League of Miracles activity in Tal'Dorei? Like heard anything about that?
Make a history check.
Oh, that's a high number. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, that's a high number.
You're back to your 14s.
Yep. History, that's gonna be 29.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I built the brain.
It is very recent, especially within magic users. In fact, there was a concerted effort of taking students away from a lot of the colleges of magic some time ago. Within the Empire, that was mostly resisted, as was the Dynasty, but there still were agents that reportedly smuggled some out of those places in order to add them to their ranks, as it seemingly came out of somewhat nowhere. They were known for raising castles that had sunk into swamps, entirely rebuilding towns in days using magic, and they ultimately kept on recruiting more and more people to become spellwrights for them, to begin to learn some of this magic, all led by one particular person who seems to be the chief of them. And a lot of people they were kind of looked down upon when they first recruiting, but now are considered to be among the wealthiest in organization within Exandria, due to the fact that they were able to buy up, or not buy up, but take so many contracts and complete them, and they've gained immense political influence because the government of Tal'Dorei owes them millions of gold. The government's in Tal'Dorei, since there are several.
In his own stammering way and recalling information, Zanlor will spit all that out.
Well, What was the name of the guy that led them or established it?
I don't think.
I'll get
No.
that for you in a second. You would have, you know their title. I just want to give you the right one really quick.
Why is it always wizards? No offense, Anlor.
None taken. I couldn't do anything about it anyway.
I'm sure if you really wanted to, you could give me some kind of evil flatulence that lasted forever or something. Although
I could
wizardry-
turn you into a sheep.
That would be the Grand Thaumaturge.
Grand Thaumaturge.
And there's 4 continents in Exandria: Wildabound, Desilra, Marquette, and Chaldore. That we know.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, Taldore, Isilra. Technically the Shattered Teeth as well?
Hey, we know that person.
That's an area I don't know if yeah, whatever.
Yeah. You know that, yeah.
Or a large continent, so.
So yeah, it sounds like we have not so much interest in Rothold, more interest in Marquette and groups to go chase down this Druid Island. That sound reasonable? And then the young support the Molly, maybe?
Yeah. They're sent above table, yes, and down sending the 3s to Port Damali, and I know we were saying send the 11s to the Shattered Teeth to check out the Druid Island.
What do we do with the 9s?
Marquette, probably. Unless you think Port Damali is going to be more of a battle zone, in which case, the 9s can go to Port Damali instead. But
Well, I thought the mains were going to Marquette, right? Or no?
yeah.
The mains could go to Marquette, yeah.
It would probably be the mains minus Mal, or at least somebody, because one of us has to stay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Fair.
I would stay if need be.
Keldrum's not going anywhere.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, are you
So-
retired now?
Huh? He's not retired, but he's definitely not fighting
Yeah. He's on
until
vacation.
A long time.
he's not fighting till we are going to deal with vampirates.
Yeah. I
AKA
think the other thing you
Rudian.
did have too is the potential pirate islands over around Isira if you wanted.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, this is your choices. I'm just reminding you of
The 9s could potentially, because the 9s are the most piratey of the crews, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
So
Honestly,
they would
blame
fit in most in that pirate island.
yeah, truly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sending the 9s to Isilra Pirate Islands.
Unless we're pulling the 5s out of Nicodranus and putting somebody else there. Because we don't think that they can handle quite... Because they were meant to be spies and get in the good graces, which they've
Mhm.
done.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can handle the League, this Theron Jaren fellow who's buying up what seems as much of the city as he can.
Mm-hmm.
Alongside undead that are still growing, being uncovered.
Yeah.
We haven't heard much news in regards to Simon's, I forget the name of his organization, and the undead that they were supposed to be filtering out of the Deadlands.
Yeah.
The sentient and just the versus the mindless.
Right.
Oh, and then the sentient ones and Nicodranus too. We talked about that.
Yeah,
Yes, which is another.
Samurai, yeah.
A pair is not quite the same as what we experienced in the Deadlands, but it is
But if
odd
it's
that
a
they're
similar
also.
phenomenon.
Nicodramus is almost prime for a temple.
You're gonna spend a year there.
Fuck no. Nicodramus is gross.
I mean, you could always send your people.
What's gross now?
Do
I
you
guess
have anybody that strong that could, or do you just mean a physical? Like have, it's time to have a physical temple built.
Oh yeah, I mean it would take the time, of course, and I mean Arista, while she is talented, she is nowhere near my capabilities.
Wasn't Nicodranus also sort of like the religious middle ground between the relatively tight empire opinions on what gods can be worshipped and then the relatively loose Concord perspective?
They are loose. I think I forgot. I remember catching a glimpse of some temple there when we were messing with the artist, but I don't really recall who it was to.
What has the Concord been doing since all this?
Licking boo-boos.
Probably picking themselves up and dusting themselves off for at least the last month or two. There's a whole lot of rebuilding at home. They're not going to be, out causing trouble anywhere else anytime soon.
So do we leave the Whiskers to continue gathering information and acting on what they feel they're capable of acting on?
I think they should continue to make nice and gather. I would actually. It seemed like a one-off, but I am interested with that random guard they met that was looking for their siblings. He seems like a very capable man. If we can't hire him to, help even with our own people, maybe he would be a good asset to have.
I feel like they're making a better situation out of what's happening in Nicodranus. Like, I think they're doing good stuff, helping out around.
I mean, piggybacking on that, would we, and it's an open door, I guess, would we want to actually establish an outpost in Nicodranus? We want to have like a trading house there and like legitimize ourselves like these this Farron Jaren guy is suggesting. Like,
I mean, we do have ties to the orphanage, and we do have a few ties around there. It could be useful. I think there is. It could be prudent, and there is a merit in doing so.
yeah, maybe we can keep leaving them to establish themselves and focus on other matters.
And
I'm
what
sure
exactly would we set up there? Are we setting up just a full guild hall of Dark Toe?
I mean, I imagine at least a embassy.
Yeah,
Maybe
an
I
embassy
know-
of sorts.
yeah.
Haven't
And
even thought about that.
what services would
own
we be
nation.
providing to the city that we are setting up this embassy?
Destabilization of trade in the city.
Well, they do
Try
have
that.
that. Theron Jaren does have access to the port, and if we get in good with him, we are able to use our ships to move more goods than he can probably do so himself. But then again, we also heard that he has a teleportation circle, so. Or possibly him. We don't know, because, well, unfortunately, our whispers haven't gathered all the information to tie him into these shady activities.
At the very least, a warehouse. If we're going to have easy port access, we're going to do lots and lots of trade with these folks. Some ability to store goods in the meantime and maybe protect them would be useful. Help them rebuild.
They did decide that making and creating a business was a smart idea. If this building fails, Jajal, Well, I mean, I'm sure that you'll take care of it.
And having a
Yeah.
seat on the Council of Negadranus might work out well in our favor in the future for, trades, or at least knowing what direction they're headed before they go there.
It's an investment.
Yeah, an investment.
I think it's worthwhile.
And from what we hear, your investments are paying off well. The orphanage has been giving us a lot of information, and your donations were definitely used in the right way.
They were sent there initially to finalize a trade with Peaches, right? I still want to see that ship that she was offering
Oh yeah.
and see what. Not that Peaches isn't. Well, Peaches is no Bingles, but still a force in their own right. But we may need to make alterations.
How do we get the ship back here efficiently? There's got to be at least one surviving teleportation portal in Nicodranas, right?
Well, I mean, you can always tow it. It's
Joel
not
doesn't
the
need
fattest-
that.
That's true. Dajal could just pop over.
That's my speciality.
In fact, you could just, drop by. The boss is coming out to visit the troops in the field, give them their commendations, and then slip that back in your pocket if you wanted to.
I was thinking about asking if we should build a care package I could deliver for them.
It's not a bad idea.
Above table, if one of the main crew is in the or working with the other crews, they get like a buff, right? The same way
Boon.
I forget Thola's dad's name.
Yeah, Royden. Same thing
Royden
happened with
gave
like
us
and
the
yeah.
nines. So if Jajal wanted to, be like, hey, Master of Whiskers here, coming to like help provide some insight or guidance and start setting up this embassy, you could potentially provide them a buff.
It's a boon.
Because I really liked that idea when Matt suggested
Yeah.
it. It's like, yeah, like they're not gonna fight, but like, then if
They'll be there.
that group dies, then that main character dies also.
Right.
Correct.
the
That is
consequence.
the big thing I wanted.
That was the
I was going to remind.
that was the other
Yeah.
hand of it. It's like you can buff them, but if that group dies, then that main crewman dies also.
I was gonna say, at the very minimum, not to like metagame or anything, but I'm like, we should probably give them some maybe some extra gold or some, I don't know, healing potions to help out a little bit.
No,
I mean,
but
I
we
think
might-
a stipend, right? A regular stipend is kind of standard, right? But
Like a paycheck per DM, some kind
Yeah.
of.
we could also, I mean, well, there's no way to not metagame at this point. Caldrum can use the mithril where they can't, so we could take that off their hands while giving them money.
It is a fair point. We could just ship the mithril back to ourselves. I completely forgot about that.
I can just take it with me.
How much can you take with you?
What they can physically carry,
Yeah.
or they can transport a object by themselves.
like a box of it, maybe.
I think they can send like a 10 by 10 set of objects, or like a bundle of like 10 by 10,
Right.
or themselves and like whatever they can carry.
I can bring like 8 people. Let me break the rules. It's okay.
Yeah, but so how does that work with like his bag of hold? You have a bag of holding, right, Jajal?
Oh, of course not. That would make too much sense.
It would honestly be easier to transport it via plants. Just
It
you
really
get people carrying it in boxes and you go through.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge win if we can bring back piles and piles and piles of mithril to Darktown.
We could also just steal Dozer's portable hole for a minute and just send it back. It's like put it all in there, teleport
I thought
back.
somebody in this crew, oh, maybe it was Tonk, that had either a haversack or a portable hull.
No, that's what we have. We have a haversack amongst us,
Okay.
and then Tonk just had his pants that had like
Yeah.
infinite pockets.
Yeah, the bowling pants of infinite storage.
But yeah, I mean, Mithril coming to Keldrum, especially working with Hiranos and Cinemoris, like seeing as I kept the knowledge of working with like the kind of stranger or more unique materials. Not that Mithril's one of those, but I can likely do a lot with that. Whether it's making lighter weapons for the crews or whatnot.
I think Sandler would also want
Armor.
right from afar work with Bernardo on like analyzing the quick mithril. That was very interesting for him. Like Sandler learning about that through the whole casting of Exposition.
All right, so we have some next steps for the Nicodranas crew at least. Which crew do you want to focus on next?
My vote is 11s. What do you guys think?
Same.
Yeah, same.
Because we would have learned about crap, where is it? Well, we knew Verithia, but we would have learned the name of her,
Yes,
her
Howie Mandel.
mentor. I forget. I'm trying to find it.
Howie Mandel, yeah.
Yep.
Automobile.
Yeah, him. So we could either just go straight to the Shattered Teeth if we thought that potentially the druids, if those druids were Verithia's druids and if they had potentially re-inhabited that, though we wouldn't necessarily know why they would have necessarily gone back there if the reason that they were there was to try to channel the World Seed's power. Though that celestial, was it a celestial, a water being that was still connected to Tonk at the time that he could technically talk to?
He had a thing, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what type of creature it was, but that creature was still there and was kind of like, I believe, stuck there. So we could reach out to them before sending the 11 straight there and potentially have the 11s check out Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
Because we know that he was likely on an island nearby.
Yeah. I was just trying to find
Of
like
Nicodranas?
for that. He's somewhere in the Lucidian, nearer to Nicodranas and the Shattered Teeth.
That's not the button I wanted. Or was that?
It's all up to you. Anything you're trying to figure out?
I think we're still largely on the hunt for where the druids are and how to get them. So I think the 11s to the Shattered Teeth, or roughly thereabouts, at least to the go looking for the Druid Islands, probably the smart move.
Well, we have seen them before. We don't have anything they own, but we could try to scry. Though they might have things that make that harder than usual.
Oh shit! You all have already made those characters, haven't you?
Yes.
Honestly, almost all of my characters are created.
I have all of my sheets.
I'm in trouble.
That was funny.
There's really only the 11 that is not fully complete, but that's just because there's a lot going on there for me.
Okay, so let's finalize the 5s. Are we sending Jajal to
give them a care package, and
Pick up the mithril.
do you want to have Jajal stick around there for a while to maybe set up an embassy of Dark Toe?
Not so much that. My thing was this, and this is what Jajal was thinking. So, finding out that Mel was trying to, or Mel and Dozer were trying to like survey that mansion and everything else like that, not having a lot of luck. I want to bring some supplies, i.e., cough, healing potions, just to keep them alive, and bring all the good stuff back, and try to, I don't know, see, responsibility and Jajal don't go well together. He likes to do a lot of things.
Impetuously.
Personally. Well, just, I am getting an itch, and so I'm like, how much of a challenge would it be to get into this place? And I think he would want to actually try to invade the mansion himself.
Jajal solo breaking into Theron Jaren's.
Like leaving a little love note for you guys to find. Well, the fives to find.
Good. Look, he ends up like taking the book that fucking Dozer needs to come get some more.
He's like, oh, these blueprints look interesting. I'll take those.
Surprise, the princess is another castle. Good luck.
That would be quite amusing.
Now, if that happens or not is a different story, but that's at least what he's thinking right now.
I would say let's at least send Jajal on a supply run and see how little trouble he can get into.
Yeah, I think I'm done with that. And I think that is, while I don't know if Jajal has to be there, I think that stepping towards this embassy / outpost, direction could be fruitful.
And bring back the little boat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, what little boat?
The invisible stalker, the one that Peaches gave us.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. It's been a
That's
while.
currently in Oliver's backpack.
Yep.
I'll say it again. Is that a boat in your pocket or you just happy to see me?
Yes. The answer is always yes.
Well, in that case.
It's getting frigate in here.
Did you say frigid?
My God. Just gonna sleep my way out of here.
It gets worse.
Yep. We'll always get
All
worse.
right. So do we have a decision?
Yeah, so I think we're gonna play out a little bit with the fives here, and then maybe move on to get what information do we want more? Do we want to try to head after the sea, which part of it, or go down that way?
The druids, right? Like the Shattertooth druids, islands, and whatnot. Or try to see where you locate them.
Right. But I think, let me see here. I think
Does it make
no.
Does it make more sense? So I'm trying to remember the threads. Verithia's mentor, the druid, was around Nicodranus, one local islands. Does it make sense to run that down first and then go look for Druid Island, or?
Yeah. Makes sense to me. Like, are we going to be sending the fives to do that, or
Probably not.
not? Yeah. Will still make sense to like follow that lead because we have it now.
Yeah, I mean,
Would that be like a first stop?
we could port the 9s or the 11s to Nicodranus and go dig around there. I don't know. Like, do they have to have their own ship, or could we just pick up the invisible stalker there and go?
Yeah, we could. Well, with the whatever group we're leaving, like swapping out for Nicodranus, we could just leave them the old cigar and then take the invisible stalker back. Because the
It'll
old
take-
cigar is still anchored or ported in Nicodranus.
It'll take basically forever to get the 11s to the teeth, right? That was like 6 months sailing or something incredible.
I mean, they would have been sailing nonetheless, right? Because really, we kind of planned this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like generally speaking, this is happening. This has
Like-
already happened.
right.
You've had this conversation, like when the characters have the conversation. So like
Yep.
you'd be getting like I think in this meeting, like you're getting all the reports from everybody.
Exactly.
So I think that's the thing. It's like generally speaking,
Like a flash
you already
report.
you already know the
Exactly.
information that these groups have gotten you.
Right. Yeah. Gosh, there was actually something. Damn it, just lost it. Oh shoot. Just messed my mind up.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, man. The best of us. Oh, I guess she can do this here. Thola just like takes the jaw real quick and she says, we'll be right back. I don't know if we can do it in this room or if it's actually let's try it. We're all here. And there's like is there like I'm guessing there's a cup who will Mal's probably drinking something. She takes the cup of whatever he's drinking. She chugs it. She takes out a flask from
That
her.
was rum.
It was good. She pours like a
was
flask
rum.
in it. It's like a clear liquid, and she starts incanting some words, and she starts to cast scry.
Okay.
And she doesn't cast scry on the main druid that we met, but the woman druid that he was with, because there was two guys. There was a main druid, another guy, and then the girl, and then they got away with their freedom of movement bullshit. Fuck them. So I'm gonna try to scry on her because she doesn't seem as powerful as him, but they might be in the same vicinity.
Okay. So what's the person you're trying to find for this from this?
Where they are, I guess. I just want to scry. Maybe if I can tell by their surroundings if they're in a jungle or if they're in a city, or things like that.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So you're scrying here then. And you think of her. And your vision travels as you look into the reflection through waters. And give me a perception check, actually.
Yeah, buddy, for sure. I get advantage on those. Man, I missed this. I missed this character. All right, that's 30.
Feels good.
Feels good.
You're like back on the mains. All
Right.
right. Amazing. Yeah. Here you see she is talking. She's like giving what seems to be almost like a speech or sermon, talking about, she says, the eyes of many are coming. Chaos is back, and with that chaos, protection. Balance was always wrong. Your mistress, now dead, was wrong. The new way is the way to the next part. Alexandria, not encased with rules and law and order, but in chaos, those who know the game, those who know to live by it. I will teach you the waves of the Kiana. For I promise, with what you have seen, he will come back. The pride of your mistress has slain her. Do not die trying to keep up her work.
Now, using the sensor, obviously that's there, following her. When I look around using the invisible sensor that's scrying, what else do I see there? What type of people are she
Yeah,
talking
with
to?
that perception check, it's familiar, this place.
Oof.
You remember the island. You remember some of you falling from great heights. In fact, Thola remember it the most, for you were the one that helped get through the many traps that
Yep.
was there. These people, children of destiny.
These are slaves. Oh my God, no! This is not good.
Well, now
Oh,
you ever have a sandwich eaten right in front of you?
no. Well, I say, well, Jajal, looks like the lady won't be a problem no more. Which I don't know if it's a better solution. It seems like it's a greater problem.
Jajal is just dumbfounded, jaw agape, like no words.
Didn't you just talk to her about a few months ago?
And then I swore to myself that I would kill her. Yes.
Well, you failed on both accounts, my friend.
So,
It's okay.
who is this going to be a story for another time? It's gonna be a
No, we
story
can
for
tell
another
this
time.
one now.
Okay.
There is a slaver who Jajal knows and used to work for, who has a keen interest on people that have blood that is destined for greatness. And she would enslave those people and, bound her to her will and did different things with them. And she had a very keen interest of Mal and myself, and she actually had my father, brother. But anyways, so she had interest in them, and we left on good terms. We were supposed to bring back the weapon that the previous Blinking had. We weren't able to do that because we sent him to Saint Nowhere. So we kind of failed on that mission, and she wasn't happy. But I never thought that she would be dead or misplaced. She is powerful in her own right.
She's from Shady Creek of all places. Are you
Oh,
familiar with it?
I know of it in passing. Former, is associate the right word? Former.
Criminals are criminals. It's fine.
She was a very
I'm
prominent
not-
figure.
No, people I used to know secondhand. Unfortunately, had some knowledge. I don't know. I just know of it.
I believe one of our whiskers were born there, the monster hunting one, but she left quite early in her teens to go find a job, and that's how she fell into monster hunting. But Shady Creek is no place for anyone with a good heart to grow up. That's for sure.
Yeah, so we basically snuck into her island. We're stealing some things from her, and she woke up, and there was a moment of do we assassinate, do we not assassinate? And then since then, it's been, highs and lows. But if somebody's taken over her island and freed or is now using her specially selected warriors of certain bloodline, that's not boding well.
And I think we should skip this Shattered Teeth and send that crew right over there.
Back to Ladies Island? Yeah.
You know what they say, it always ends where it starts.
Who says that?
I mean, I don't know.
Phil was just said that.
No, to be honest, it's...
Well, are you trying to pass off things you say again as ancient wisdoms?
No, I mean, you got to think about it. It is the cycle of life, right? We begin
Now
in
you're
darkness.
just spouting other
If you burst into song, I'll be a little disappointed.
Seriously, from the day we arrive on the planet and we step into the sun, there's more to see that could ever be seen.
Fucking Ladies Island, I can't believe it. That is
Well,
something.
At least we know the way. We can provide some directions to whoever we're sending.
We could.
Do you know the way?
This is the way.
That is alarming on a different rate, though. I don't like it.
Yeah, that would be a more significant fight.
I honestly I would have rather the lady stayed alive. I kind of didn't like her, but didn't technically despise her. She had spunk.
It's the devil you know, right?
The devil you know, yes.
That was
Well-
my blade to plunge.
Mhm.
Yes, and now it looks like you have to deal with, well, those that you wanted to deal with in the first place.
Yeah, but
Speaking of the devils we know, how are the Ruidians doing? Jajal, have you had contact with your paramour?
not since the retaking of Darktow. No.
She hasn't offered you any other strange beverages or come up with any other, odd
You
places to rendezvous?
You didn't reach out when we got back.
Not that I mean, above table, no, I don't remember reaching out, but I think at this point it's probably been uncomfortably quiet.
Oh, he might have on the low.
Secret bed buddies?
Listen, I don't knock any y'all for what y'all like.
Insight check. No. This man is betting.
I mean, you could certainly ask her. Hey, where are you guys? Where are you guys hiding out? Where's your secret
Fair.
stash? Can I come infiltrate? You're better mine.
My gosh.
Well, no, because the
Weirdest
last
way to
time,
ask you up.
right? Because they were all being monitored, so every time we would try to reach out, they would intercede to everyone else too, if I remember correctly.
But that was, yeah. It was a while ago, though. It was back
It was-
in PK days.
Yeah, well, it was going on with him, but also I think no matter what we did with her, like she was being watched, if I remember correctly, at least while she was in vicinity. I could be misremembering them.
Oh, did Keldrum get any kind of message from Peaches that the packages that he asked them to send got to the people that they were meant to?
Yeah, she would have been able to have done that.
He's not expecting a reply back from his father, but has he heard anything from Nayland?
No. I would say you've just probably gotten that very recently.
Okay.
Like probably just got some of that taken care of.
Ladies,
And I think a little bit would have been, I think, on Nayland. I was like, yeah, listening. That was really rough. Should really watch it. You've got a splintered girl there. I had to do a lot of. That was hard. But yep, all of the Nayland people got it. Good.
All of the. Oh, Christ. Okay, so no shattered teeth, at least not until after we investigate the Ladies Island.
Mhm.
Well, if they're gonna be out that way, oh, this is the wrong computer. Where is the World Anvil link?
I'll send it.
It's in the Exandria tab on Discord in player area.
Here.
Exandria. So yeah, if
Got it.
yeah, Lady's Domain is like just north of the Shattered Teeth.
Wait, is the ladies in the White Dawn Lagoon, or is she in the?
It's right. It says the Lady's Domain. It's the green one
Lady's
below
Domain.
Jonas.
Yeah, where
Oh, just
Uruk-Hazel is,
kidding.
next to Luxon's Breach.
Okay, got it. I thought she was on such different island. Okay.
What are these?
Well,
These are the maps.
Yeah,
If
those
you-
are.
Yeah, the second one's a good one.
if they're gonna investigate that, they might as well also see if they can't find anything on Halamundel, since they'll be in the area before going into the Shattered Teeth.
Well, the lady's not in the Shattered Teeth.
No, the lady's outside the teeth.
Yeah.
No, I know. But I was saying they can, like, Halamundel, the Lady's Domain, and Shattered Teeth, like, before they go into the Shattered Teeth, they could try to find those. They could try to look into Halamundel after the Lady's
Yeah.
Domain, because they're kind of in that area.
Where is Halamundel?
Yeah. Do we know what
Halamundel
island
is.
he's on?
We don't know what island he's on.
Yeah.
It might not even be an island that is on the map.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Got it.
Because we just know that he comes in, like he would come into Nicodranus. He had a, he met with a trader from the
The jungle.
Rasgard city,
Yeah.
and then he left. Again, like while the fives were out and about.
Right.
So he came in, met with that person, and then left again. So we don't know if he's on a known island or if it's literally just some small abandoned island that he's living off of currently. If he's on a named one, it might be the Lady's Domain, and maybe he's the one that, helped take care of the lady. But, yeah.
Yeah. Location's close enough. They could work.
And if that's the case, then I would say just have them take the Invisible Stalker from Nicodranus, see if they can't find any information on the whereabouts of Halamundel, and then from there, if Halamundel's island is between Nicodranus and the ladies, stop there first and then continue.
It's not a bad idea.
So I think we had meant to have them take the new siege ship, but this is just more convenient.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any ship you can put in your pocket's way more convenient.
Oh yeah.
Especially if somebody in the party has teleportation.
And I think that that my father's little miscreants, they would love to get on the seed boat. I'm sure. It's like they almost think they're us.
It's nice being a role model.
After a fashion.
Like it must be.
Yeah, I just saw the new shipment of action figures for you guys.
What? I'm just a librarian.
Oh, you didn't know? I'm sorry. Some of these guys, they were
I hate those things.
busy, and they got monikers like they were superheroes. It's kind of hilarious.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
I mean, if they're calling me Plank King, you all get something embarrassing as well.
Well, I've heard people just call me the doorman.
That's why they call Caldrum the Solemn Sniper.
He shoots things and never talks.
His action figure is just a really depressed, sad-looking orc, to be honest.
I didn't know to make doors.
You know I'm only half orc.
They didn't get your likeness, so I didn't say that. they kind of made you a lot more orc in there. I'm sorry to say, you are beautiful, half orc or not, but they really wanted to get into that side of you. Unfortunately, it sells, I guess. The kids love it.
So what are we sending the Whiskers, and are we picking up the mithril from them?
I think we
Why
should
not?
take
I
a
mean,
good
that
amount.
part, yes, I think so.
We'll take a crate load. I think that would be good for you to start on, and maybe we can even research it here.
What are they even going to be doing with it?
I know. I mean, they have to, if they start this
Sell it.
business and they have nothing to sell, I think they would look mighty stupid.
Fair enough.
We don't have to take all of it.
No,
You
no,
know.
just. And I'm sure they will stumble upon more. So
Oh, you're sure of that?
I'm not sure, but they seem to be doing okay for themselves, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, I wish Dozer just came and like asked me for other like spell scrolls. I feel like he's just asleep. I feel like that's all he really does. That's all I've seen him do. He's a
Maybe
great
that's
guy.
something you send in Jajol's care package to them.
Wait. Saint Lore, you sent an actual sleeper agent?
That's amazing.
He's a great guy. He makes really good hot cocoa.
Okay.
Do they all even have magic weapons to that they're fighting undead, and we know some of those can be pesky.
I think we pretty much just sent them with the hair on their back. So
Joy.
Yeah. It depending on when we want to send him the care package. I don't know if we're doing that right.
How
this
many
second,
fighters are there?
well, there is the shooter captain. He's good at shooting. There is the monster hunter. The book cleric. I guess he can fight, but he doesn't do it a lot.
There's that Sunder guy who still. I'll say it again.
The creepy
I'm
one.
scared of him. Yeah,
The
I'm scared
creepy
of him.
one. Yeah.
He's cool. He's cool.
If I could have dreams, he'd haunt them.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
pretty
the kind
sure I
of guy
saw
you
him-
send off the island.
Hanging out with your father's recruits
Yeah,
at
he
one
was
point.
he is an interesting one, that is for sure.
All right. So a gunslinger like myself and the
A monster
hunter.
masher.
How large of a weapon do they use?
I think the monster hunter has all sorts of weapons, but she mostly uses a halberd.
I'll see what I have available to send to them. If they're going to be fighting undead, they need better stuff than just steel.
Yeah, that's true. Undead are a pesk.
We do have to pay them for the mithril they obtained.
I would send Oresta, but she is much more useful here. She needs to be with people. I'd almost rather send Cran.
Do we potentially see if Cran and Cinemoris want to take a trip to Port Damali to see about Gaius's human children?
No, I think while it would be very interesting for the human children, it could be very good for the non-human children.
At
They
least to
are-
get in touch.
They are becoming independent of their father, after all.
So
Depending on when we're sending the care package, I I could come up with a spell scroll for a lower level spell that I could send Dozer's way. I could send him Magnify Gravity or Fortune's Favor.
Yeah,
if I have
throw
the
it in.
time. Or I could do both. They take time. I'll write a scroll for Magnify Gravity. If there's enough time to put it in the care package.
Well, seeing as we can have Jajal pop over there at any point, just we'll have him go once everybody's things are ready for it.
Yeah.
The more inconvenient for them, the better it builds character.
Oh, but
You're going to be such a terrible father one day.
Speaking of fatherhood, Will, when are you gonna have?
She's slowly wearing me down to this idea, but not yet.
Oh, you had a choice in the matter?
Well, she doesn't think I do, but that's women in general.
Well, honestly, it was a good talk, and I did miss this. It has been a while. But it seems like our jobs of saving the world, it never stop.
I mean, we could do the occasional dinner if you really want to. Maybe
Yeah.
every month or so. You don't have to get married in your work.
Soup kitchen's always open, but of course, I always have special kitchen open for you.
and you guys are always looking. Technically, I just have a shack, but I also have my mansion that I
Always
hide
welcome
in the
at your
shack.
door.
You're always looking at my door. In the door.
Honestly, Zanor is the one I see the most, considering that the library is in the old crypt.
It's very nice. There's not a lot of sunlight down there. Doesn't hurt my eyes. Get a lot of reading done. It's very nice.
So all the stuff goes in the backs? Or do I just like hold it with my hands?
You can just exchange crate for crate. Really, you take a crate, we'll put stuff in it, send the crate with, have them fill it up with the mithril, bring it back.
Mel, am I throwing any cash in here with this?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to drop them a couple thousand.
Okay. So like 2K, which
Yeah, probably some operating expenses for the short term. I don't think we paid them for a while, and like they apparently still eat, so kind of nice to send the occasional advance.
Dola pulls out 100 really, really nice looking shiny coins. She's like, I will donate, of course, from the temple. This is 100 platinum.
Straight to the orphanage, or do you want to go to the troops?
Well, I think
Darktoe has coffers. They're like we're definitely paying the Whiskers out of Darktoe's money. It doesn't have to come from the church, but if you want to make a donation,
it's-
it's fine.
it's this is a little bit separate. Not exactly from the ties or things that we get.
We could say because if you're robbing the donation plate, I'm kind of impressed.
No. Unfortunately, we do like a special. There's the soup kitchen during the day, but at night we do like a night kitchen where we have fancier foods for the ones who are a little bit more rich.
Special privileges, got it. First class churchgoers and second class churchgoers.
there's gotta be gambling.
There's always gambling.
There's like people playing craps in the church alley.
I read about this in some really old book once.
Okay, so All right, so a few things. Let's see here. You have access to, because we had mentioned one of the things that was being worked on was your spy gear at one point. So in Discord, let me get your stuff. So do this for handouts for the pirates for now. So you have access. You can send the message plate. And then you have access now to escape boots, flask of goo, and grapple gun.
Oh man, I feel like I know where these things are from, which makes it really cool.
You know where these things are from, probably.
I figured, but I love it. I'm like, oh,
Because you're starting a spy network, it's a really good pullover from.
yeah, no, that's
that one.
awesome. That's some good shit.
Could the grapple gun be used as like Batman's grappling hook?
I mean, read it.
Okay. For a grapple gun at a target, so it can be a creature.
Yeah, pull it over 20 feet per round. Hell yeah.
But this could also it doesn't have to target a creature, right? It can target an object
Yeah.
as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, that's why it says a target, because not everything can target
Okay.
objects.
Right. Super cool.
So are we picking one for this?
I think we just have access to those. I think maybe we can send.
I would say, let's put it this way. I think you would probably have. Yeah, I would say you have one of each of these, probably, and so you can go ahead and give them all to this crew, or you could save some for another deal. Because I think what I'm doing is kind of with this, because I want to figure out a good way to do some of the experience, since we don't have necessarily the treasure back yet.
Right.
I'm advancing your spy equipment, because you were talking
Yeah,
about
for
care
sure.
packages. And so your spy equipment and Magitech area has produced these items, and they're prototypes.
Well, what do you guys think would be most beneficial? They have a means of communicating to us, right?
Well, yes, I think the knowledgeable one can send messages. So the message plate could be used for someone else, such as the newer groups that can't really do such a thing. But the grapple hook and the boots that could lend to escape could help. Oh, honestly, I would love to see that reading Luxodon fly away on boots.
Oh
It
yeah.
would be hilarious. You think he would flap his ears?
For steering, probably.
Probably like just a takeoff, just to get that extra push up.
Yes. Jajal, if you want to grab the boots and the grapple hook, I mean, maybe the goo could help, but if they've been, I guess maybe that if they aren't seen and someone's coming after them, they could let it go behind them. But if they're being seen doing something shady, they've failed half of their mission. So
Okay, so boots and grapple.
Sure.
And if I have the chance to, Zandler would put a couple first level scrolls in with the care package for catapult, magnify gravity. Yeah, actually just catapult and magnify gravity.
You know he has catapult.
Oh, I asked the question. I asked in the chat. And
Yeah, he did ask you. Look at
Yeah.
you. Not
Oh, I didn't see that. I've been looking at
Alright.
the Volda's like craftsman stuff because the items Keldrum makes is more complex. Where he's just gonna go to Hieronos, who's a craftsman, so he can make these things quickly because he's not trying to send them these like amazing items. He's just like, I need them to be able to damage undead normally.
right.
Then just catapult and no, this is material component cost.
Okay, so first level spells I have Absorb Elements, Catapult, Chromatic Orb, Detect Magic, Find Familiar, Identify Shield, Silvery Barb, Sleep.
Cool. So you're gonna get a Magnify Gravity scroll, and screw it, Pulse Wave, 3rd level.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll throw like
Hey, I don't actually need Fireball now. I can actually do AoE
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
And I will
When
also
he gets this
include
eventually.
the gold cost to transcribe
learn
the
them.
spells. Yeah. So I gotta
All right.
math real quick.
But yeah, just make sure it's coming out of our actual things.
It's what 50
The
per
books.
level, right? So 200 gold total.
And
Well,
then
what
how much is it?
Gravity's first level or second?
Magnify Gravity is a 1st level. Pulse Wave is a 3rd level.
Yes, it'd be 200.
And how much is it to make a scroll again?
Shiza. Hold on. I gotta look it up in Xanathar's. First level is 25 and a day. 3rd level is a work week and 500.
So that's cool. So okay, so all the gold is removed and the scrolls are produced.
All right.
How many healing potions can I throw in there?
How many do you have?
We have a lot of money.
Well, I'd say, yeah, the big thing is what you've been able to produce. So, we've been able to produce, I guess. So, I think, here, let's do this. I guess that depends on, you've got one more treasure. Because I say I upgraded your production, and so you have a treasure that you can spend on your talent tree. And that can answer some of these questions.
And what do I forget where we have points currently? You just put a point in Spy Network for us. What did we pick first, guys? Was it looting?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Just-
Yeah.
Because we were like, if we don't have any points in it, then we can't get any benefit from it. And as long as we have the 1 point, then there was at least a chance. Okay, so I've updated that. So,
Yes.
so it was navigation, combat, looting, leadership, stealth, survival, blacksmithing, alchemy, sailing, spy network were the 10 things. If we wanted more potions, then it would be alchemy.
Yeah.
I don't think I. Oh, I think I learned alchemy. I could help. but I'm also
You-
so busy cooking.
Yeah, I mean, you learn it, but yeah, this is like the island's ability to
Right to
produce
to
it.
produce.
So by not having a point in it, it can't be made.
You might be getting a little bit. It would just be what you had. Like this is producing the island probably. Yeah, it upgrades that basically. Yeah, so if you put a point in alchemy, then you'd get 2d6 healing potions and 1d4 uncommon potions. That you could send, yeah, because we had to do this more as a resource there. And I would say with your treasure, I think I'm going to give you 2 points for all the work that you've all been doing, actually. I'll give you the free 1 bonus I gave you, plus you can put 2 in. I think that's fair.
We could do 1 for that and 1 for the blacksmith, so that Caldrum can make just a vicious weapon, right? Where
Yeah.
he can make a vicious pistol and a vicious halberd, and then that also solves that.
So how many points would we have in total, like accumulated till now?
We have 4 total.
Yeah.
Because we had the initial one that we put into looting. We just got 1 in Spy Network, and then we have 2 others that we can assign currently. And I'm adjusting it at the top of loot, which is where we had, where I'd put it initially.
Yeah, I see that now.
Pin it.
Yep.
What say y'all to that? I mean, that kind of solves at least the issues now. Right, you can make it a little easy on us at least.
All right. Y'all got to give your opinions when you're asked a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
Okay.
On board. Yep.
I'm just trying to think how much we need vicious weapons for just like the regular crews is the issue. Let me look at the Twitch description thing again for that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just better than the standard weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Because that,
So-
that not only does it for the crew that we can send out, but right, like guards here or
Correct.
pirates in general,
Yeah.
right? It kind of
Yeah.
helps
Yeah, these
out
all
the-
have these all like if they cost the same as regular, that basically means like yes, all your regular weapons on your characters would become vicious.
nice.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
That could be very helpful,
Black-
right? You could do
blacksmithing
that
and
for the
alchemy.
9s and 10s, and right, like
Yeah, because the whole idea is this sort of does that, and it supercharges your leveled characters. Because we said we don't do levels, so
right.
these are like
right,
things that charge them up.
Right,
so
right.
that's sort of the idea of the talent tree.
I'm
No,
for
for
it.
sure.
So we're doing alchemy and blacksmithing.
Looks like it.
I'm okay with that.
Cool, cool.
Okay.
Okay, so then I can stop looking at the Volda's crafter stuff. 'Cause I was gonna send them cool shit.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah,
cool shit,
well-
but I was gonna do like an apprentice and then the magical journeyman, so that way it would be magical, and then just give them a specialized thing for
Yeah.
those specific.
Well, now that
characters.
you've put into that point, I have to upgrade it. So, like, I'll say you might be able to buy those now, right?
Right.
On the next one.
Yeah.
Because I think I just did the rule. Every time you go and you can't spend 2 in a category. I'm going to spend 1 in a category.
Correct. Yeah.
When we're upgrading. So cool. In
That
that
way
case,
we didn't just max loot.
right.
Okay,
Right.
well,
Bad
we
points.
got D4 every time.
Yeah. So in that case,
An econ
let's
augment.
see here. Yeah, why don't we do this? Because what would you? Jajal gets a D6 for healing. Zaynor, why don't you roll a D6 for the healing, and then Mal, why don't you roll the D4 for the uncommon potion?
Mm-hmm.
I got a 5.
Woo!
Nice.
Oh, same here.
Really? So that's
Nice.
10 healing
10
potions
healing potions. Nice.
and 1 uncommon potion of your choice.
Yep.
So you can send that out to this group if you want. Choosing uncommon.
What are you looking at the uncommon potions?
Yeah. Let's see. This group of characters is about to feel super supported. Like, we got a haul, guys.
We had gotten the cool mithril hull, but then we couldn't spend it.
Yeah. Like, as far as like items, like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you imagine like start getting vicious weapons, and he'll like, we're going up.
Let's see. So, 10 healing potions, vicious pistol, vicious halberd, magnify.
There's definitely a vicious pistol.
Oh yeah.
Game-
Well,
No,
My-
I'm
my-
just putting in the loot
yeah.
page, like what we're
Oh.
sending.
Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? I gave some weirdo and a whale my vicious pistol on Sunday.
Yeah.
Are you what?
Sunday I gave away a vicious pistol to someone.
Gave a.
Yeah.
I heard you say gave a whale a vicious.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is
what
funny
in the
because they're in
Pinocchio
a
is
whale, so I was like, what?
this? What in the Pinocchio is this?
Yeah. Oh, man. But that's fun. Yeah, so it's like that's the funny thing too. Now the other knights, if they travel to Darkdoe, like they would experience the alchemy that you've upgraded, as well as the fact that all these vicious weapons are.
I mean, think about it. Like, that's truly how you make a killer whale, Jonathan.
Wow.
You know, on that one, I'll see myself out. No.
I'm trying to think of a dolphin joke, but I can't right now.
You just gotta start speaking dolphin, bro.
So, Will, which potion did you pick?
I'm contemplating like Dragon's Breath potion, oil of slipperiness, or what else would be awesome? Animal friendship, not so much. Firepower or sneak away, slip away. I don't know. Let's just give them the. Go ahead.
Have it be something for either Sunder, Oz, or Gino, because the other three are getting stuff actively to use for their characters, is what I would say. Like that, it's specific character upgrades. Like the marshals are getting
Mhm.
weapons, and the wizard's getting a couple spells. Granted, you can't give spells to the cleric because full access, and not really sure what Gino needs. But Gino having potions feels correct.
Yep. Let's do the Dragon's Breath potion for Gino. A little extra firepower.
So that could go to Sunder, and you just give it to
That's true.
Toth. It's like go breathe fire.
Yep, that'll work.
Go play pretend as Jet.
Yeah.
Some potions to Oz and to the two healers, so that way they can save their spell slots. For when we need, or vice versa. Use spell slots to save potions unless it's dire.
Just make the wizard really jack and give him a hill giant's potion.
Hey, Wizard Tuesday drank a frost giant potion.
Yeah.
Nice.
So just kind of unbalancing the super weak effect of like just make you super weak from casting wish.
Yeah, Cast Wish got 3 strength and they drank a frost giant potion.
So it's up to like 23 now.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Who did that?
Nylumia, Josh.
I cast wish. Oh
Ask
shit!
their husband
Bullshit.
back. Oh. 23 strength.
That's hysterical. Tell me how you
Sounded
really
just
feel.
like that.
Thank you, all. Thanks.
That's what gets those subs right there.
The purple alert.
That's what gets the views, like the view kind of just higher and higher.
Yeah. Oh. Knowing that. Oh wait, he can't. Otherwise, he can't fly. Shit. Okay. Well.
What are you deciding on here?
No, because I'm gonna send. Oz at least studded leather because homie's rocking
Studded
just
leather's the
leather,
way.
but he can't wear. Because I was gonna send him. Or actually, I can send him Brigadine armor.
Studded
From
leather is
Voldas.
still light armor.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
but Brigadine armor from Vol. Oh no, that's exotic. He can't wear that. That's specifically a craftsman armor. So yeah, I'll send him some studded leather, just so that way he can have it at least one more AC. Because he can't. Because Owlin can't fly in medium.
Right. You ever seen that man fly anyway?
He flies. He mostly flied
Yeah.
when we were looking for the Ankeg.
I guess
'Cause
I'm
we send him up for a different angle.
just so used to being on the ground and looking at objects and creatures on the ground. I do not look.
All right.
Cool. What uncommon potions did you guys decide on again? I'm sorry.
Fire breath.
Oh, cool.
Potion of fire breathing. Yeah.
Yeah. If I was gonna suggest that or slipperiness.
One of the two. Yep.
Subtract 45 gold from me in the book because I'm view only.
Oh, okay. You got 45 gold on Cauldron right now?
No.
Damn.
I have 1 platinum piece, 19 gold, 26 silver, and 11 copper. I didn't carry any money with me into the Deadlands.
So
No.
45 off account. Got it.
Yeah, because I'm gonna send Oz some.
So was not in the Deadlands, so we're gonna check.
Does
Amazing.
Sunder also need studded leather, or do you have studded leather?
I think I'm on studded leather. Let me double check that though.
Because that's
I'm
definitely
pretty
something that
sure.
Keldrum would do, is make sure the people are armored properly.
I spent
Yep.
my starting gold on armor.
Yeah?
It's
Okay.
literally
Already
good. Like all I bought.
And then does Gino wear armor?
I don't think so.
Sorcerers don't get armor. They can't wear armor
Yeah.
unless they're.
That man could wear a nice cape though.
Just flourish.
I'll make him a billowing cape. A cape of billowing.
Dramatic flourish.
All about those style points.
Oh yeah. Style is not a dumb stat.
Style. That's good. I like it.
I liked it. Yeah.
Oh, guys, there was 3 inspirations, so grab those if you don't have them.
I'll pick one.
Melanie has one.
Pick one.
I feel like that should go on like my TikTok channel, like bio. Style is not my dump stat.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I just realized I don't have Ancient Dark Toe as one of the options within the skill tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that we need to? I know we're looking at a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we can wrap it up, start fresh with Jajal taking a little detour next time.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah.
And then making sure I have my character ready.
Which one?
The 11.
Yes.
If everybody wants to remind him what they are, I'm a rogue at 11.
Yeah.
I am a cleric at 11.
So, like GM wise, like I my understanding is you want to resource your 5s here, and then run a few more sessions with the 5s.
Yeah, maybe like one or two to get. I think we want to see or look to see how this meeting with the Mithril guy. I think that would be good information. To
Yeah.
gather.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, just wrap up the stuff that we set up with Jiren,
Okay. Cool.
and then
cool. That
like
gives it a little bit
in that day before, because he said in 2 days we can meet with Jajal or whatnot, and then
Okay.
I think that's a good plan.
It's very cool. Oh, well, we went way past the time here, right? Yeah. Jeez.
I'm glad you're having fun, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay, sorry about that. All right. Anyone watching, we're leaving. So
Yeah.
we went a little far here.
Yeah.
But we will go ahead and see you next week as we continue the insanity. If we just had our point expenditure talent tree episode. So bye bye.